This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. Two a time.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and this is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. Good morning to my Finlaws and my family. I'm your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music on all platforms at Miami Sports Music, except on Twitter, where we're at MIA Sports Music. On your way in, I want to make sure you guys hit the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. It's free. Just make sure you hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. It helps the video get seen by more people. Make sure y'all do that. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed and part of the fun family field excitement here at the network. Fun family field. I apologize. I got a little bug, but I'm trying to get over it, trying to kick it. But yeah, so make sure y'all do that. Hey, look, if you want to sign up and become part of the family officially, there's lots of different ways you can do it. But one of the ways is signing up to become a member of the channel. If you're not already an official member of the channel, I would love to do it. I would love to do it, man. Make sure y'all do that. Sign up today. Become part of the family officially by becoming a member of the channel. Join today. Lots of cool perks, but it's a great way to support the channel on a month in, month out basis. Officially. It all helps. It all helps. If you want to just help the channel grow by donating here and there, you can do that by using the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. You guys can do that as often or as little as you like, or none at all, if you're not able to give monetarily. But if you are, they're greatly appreciated. If you're rewatching us, you can use YouTube Live Super Thanks, which is the $ with heart below the bottom of the screen that you'll see right here. You can also use Cash App and PayPal. Cash App and PayPal are great because they take out less fees than YouTube does. And I would love, if you're donating on a higher amount, Cash App and PayPal are always the preferred way. You see the QR code right on your screen, $ MSM Podcast Network, or PayPal MSM Podcast Network. We are a fan-filled run site, so we only keep moving with your donations. So please, we're just like public television. We only succeed based on your donations. So please donate and help the channel grow. We're just like public television. I appreciate it. If you're able to donate anything at all, it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. So I appreciate it. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, cards, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. ZSM Sports is the place to go. Big shout out to Zachary over at ZSM Sports. They're amazing. They're amazing. So shout out to them. Hangry Owls, good food, good mood, craft subs and salads. Hangry Owls, 305-279-5332. Give a big shout out to Hangry Owls at Hangry Owls. Veza, we love Veza, born and raised the official beer of Clock Blockers. We love Born and Raised. They're absolutely amazing. A great place to sit.com. If you guys need tickets to any sporting event, theater, concerts, whatever around the world, a great place to sit.com is the place to go. And why are they great compared to the other ticket sites? Because the price you see is the price you get. There's no added service fees or anything else. So whatever the price is, that's exactly what it is. And then last but not least, Tail Greeter. Love Tail Greeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android device today. All right, I got to say something nice about Apple. Here's my nice Apple comment of the day. Day 3. I'm counting down the days, y'all. Got 1 month of saying something nice every day about Apple. Apple has FaceTime. And that is probably the one thing I wish Android phones had. Out of all the stuff There's nothing I'd really think. But if I had to take one thing from Apple that Android doesn't have, it would be FaceTime. I wish Android had FaceTime. Now they have their, different apps that you can use, but I will say FaceTime is a little bit easier to use. It's the only thing I got to say something nice. So that is it today. Yesterday, say they had the nice logo. I forget what I said the first day. But today, I enjoy FaceTime. So there's your good thing about Android today, about Apple today. Okay? I said it right. All right. Anyways, Steven, use Messenger as FaceTime. I do. I do. Make sure you guys download the app today on your current Apple or Android device today at Tailgreeter, TAILGREETER. Now, there we go. FaceTime. Steven, if you needed, you can FaceTime with Apple users. They just need to create a link. Oh, well, I didn't know about all that. And you don't have to buy a new phone each year. Anyways, all right, I said my one nice thing about Apple. I'm not saying anything else. You get another one tomorrow. It is Wildin' Out Wednesday. Where's my one of the best days of the year? Absolutely love Wildin' Out Wednesday. I think most of you do too. That's why I kept, pretty, very limited panels the first couple of days this week because I wanted to go crazy today. So here's the rules for Wildin' Out Wednesday. If you've never watched our show before, every day we kind of have a different theme. So, Mondays are therapy Mondays or victory Mondays, depending if we win or lose. Tuesdays are hot take Tuesdays with Nando Talk. And I always enjoy that because I had a couple of hot takes yesterday. They were pretty good. Wednesdays are a full-fledged fan panel show, which means you come up here, you can say whatever you want. There are some rules to it. Okay. Number one, swear jars in full effect. Okay. I know Friday and Monday we didn't have it because the fans the day before previously paid for it. So if you're just new to watching our show, we try to keep it family friendly, but not just family friendly, work friendly too, because a lot of people use our morning show when they're listening to work. All right. And then we just want to, people to be able to listen to us everywhere that they're using. So swear jars in full effect. It's $1 per cuss word, except the F word is $2. Okay. When you get to $5, I can take you off the panel until your swear jar is paid in full. Okay. Otherwise people would just abuse it. Okay. And as people would say, the swear jar is not real. Okay. We're not playing that game. Other rules. You can be booted from the panel. How is that? Well, we have what they call $10 timeouts. If somebody pays $10, donates $10 to the channel and times you out for 10 minutes, you're gone for 10 minutes. You can get day bans. Somebody can pay $50 to the channel to ban you for the rest of the day. You can even get week-long and month-long bans, $100, $250. But the rules are, if anybody doubles, anybody can double to bring that person back from the dead. Sorry, that was the wrong button. From the dead. Okay. So make sure you guys understand that. So if person A pays $10 for person B and then person C pays $20 to bring them back, person A cannot ban that person at $10 at all. Okay. For the rest of the day, but they can keep upgrading it. But another person can ban them at $10. Once you are brought back from the dead, whoever originally banned you on the original tracking can't ban you at $10 anymore, $50 or whatever it is that they do. Okay. So it's a great fun way. It's a great fun way for obviously the channel to grow and do stuff. And it's been something that's worked for us for a while. So I know I've had a few new people. What is Wildin' Out Wednesday? How does it work? What is this banning? What is this kicking off people? And so I wanted to just kind of give a rundown of how it worked. So that's what we do. And if you're a non-Dolphins fan, you can get voted off the panel automatically. Okay. So if there's a Bills fan on the panel or a Patriots fan on the panel or Jets fan on the panel, and there's 6 people on the panel or 10 people or whatever, at that point, somebody can then say, hear he, I do declare that these here Jets fan get voted off the panel. Then we go around the horn, and if it's a majority rules, that person's off the panel. But if it's less than, that person can still get paid to get booted off. Okay? All right. I think I went over everything in full detail. And if you didn't understand it, that's too damn bad. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you. See, that's a swear jar. That would be a swear jar for me. Okay? That's $1. $1. Okay. All right. Y'all ready to have some fun? It's Wildin' Out Wednesday. Let's go. All right, here we go. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I'm going to bring you all on, and y'all can get in where you fit in. There is the link in the chat. Let me pin. Now it's pinned to the top of the chat. You'll see there. Feel free to come on, use it. And I want to hear from you. Let's get going. We want to talk about what your thoughts are about the team, how they finished the season, the playoff game, what y'all thought about the press conferences, some of the decisions that were announced moving forward. Whatever it is y'all want to talk about, the floor is you all's. This is a show that is created for the fans, by the fans. And I'm pretty excited because Wildin' Out Wednesday is one of my favorite days of the week. And I like what somebody had just said earlier. Let me, what did they say? I don't normally do panel shows. I'm down for no panels unless it's Wednesday. What's the point in a panel exclusive day if we're going to panel any day, every way? I try to keep it real. I usually do, Mondays therapy or victory Monday, Tuesdays, hot take Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Wildin' Out Wednesdays, obviously. Thursdays, I have Cameron and Tamaris on, and we do our picks and we hang out, we talk, and I'll do a little mini panel in the afternoon maybe. And then, Fridays are with Jason Sarney, and that's always a good time. And I like it. I think that's how, we move this thing moving forward. Okay. I don't have any Dolphins fans in the back room, but you know what I do have in the back room? I got Mark from Bills Mafia. Mark.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Steve. Looks like the Dolphin fans are fading into the abyss after another pathetic season.
Oh, are you coming up here talking trash?
No, well, I'm really not talking trash. Let's talk some reality of Dolphin fans. I know you and I have a difference of opinion regarding the quality of the Dolphin management. I don't think it's particularly good from the owner on down. Hey, caller, let me finish. Anyway, the press conference the other day was just more of the same. And it's my analogy that if you go to a restaurant 18 days in a row and you get ground glass in your burger 9 of those days and you keep coming back, are you a loyal customer or a stupid consumer? A lot of the Dolphin fans, in my opinion, are stupid consumers because you bring it on yourself. You keep tolerating this incompetent management, this ridiculous excuse for a general manager, this pathetic, sorry-ass, old-ass owner, and a head coach who godly knows what he's doing on the sidelines.
Let me pause you for a second, Mark. How is a fan base? Explain to me how a fan base is supposed to not accept mediocrity or anything. You're a Bills fan.
Tickets.
You really don't want.
Stop buying merchandise.
The answer to that question
parking,
is wait.
Stop actually supporting this team until they actually do something.
Mark, you do realize that for years your team was very similar to our. Actually, it was worse than ours.
Yes, you realize what we did.
Let
me explain what was done.
The option is to wait.
Color, not now. Let me finish.
I love Color right now. Color's my hero. Go ahead, Mark.
The Bills fans stopped going to games. That season's merchandise was down at 60 to 80% off because nobody was buying it. Everybody said
nobody wants to freeze their balls off
Steven, let me
at -11-degree weather in December and December, not January, because you guys never played.
Stopped going to games. They stopped going to games in September. They had enough mediocrity, enough garbage, enough nothing.
Mark, you realize that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you realize that Miami Dolphin fans already don't go to games.
Like that.
Well, no, they buy season tickets to sell them to somebody else. which is another statement as to
they're
the nature
putting a
of
stop
the
to
of the
that
population of
as we
Florida.
speak. They're putting a stop to that as we speak, and I'm sure the season ticket holders know what I'm talking about. But my point is, even if the season ticket holders don't buy the tickets and resell them, Miami Dolphin fans don't go to games already. So we've been doing this for 30 years, bro.
So Mark, there's and good, bad, or indifferent, right? Here's the reality. In Buffalo, there's only one thing to do on a Sunday afternoon, and that's go freeze your balls off and watch
Have you ever been to Buffalo, Steven?
Hold on. For years,
if you haven't been to Buffalo, you have nowhere to say anything. Because there are other things to do.
Buffalo? What else do they have besides the Sabres and the AAA baseball team there? Explain to me.
There is a living community. There is a living community besides. You live in Baltimore, which is the STD capital of the world.
Your all's tickets were as low as $39 for the Patriots game, man.
Where did that come from, Mark? Nobody's talking about that. Look, every major city has other things to do. They got nightclubs, they got restaurants. There's some sort of entertainment, nightlife, or whatever. Nobody's talking about that. Here's a reality to your situation, Mark. On a Sunday afternoon in an NFL city, the only thing to really do is go to church in the morning, tailgate, and then go see your football team play. In Miami and South Beach, there's a litany, there's a list of things to do that you can do in South Beach and in Florida and in Miami. So would an average fan, we're not talking diehard fans, we're talking average fans, an average fan rather go sit in a stadium watching a mediocre team in 110-degree weather
for $300
at $300 exactly at $300 a pop? Or are they going to be sitting on a beach or hanging out with, going to a bar? They're going to do the alternative, where there's no other alternative than the Buffalo. There's no other alternative in Green Bay. There's no other alternative in Chicago. There's nothing else to do on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, I'm not saying it's right. I'm a diehard fan. Color's a diehard fan. We're there every Sunday afternoon, rain, sleet, or snow. Let's go. But let's
address the big.
I'm still trying to shower off the purple that leaked onto me from the Vikings game.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and talk about the big elephant in the room, which is the nature of the relationship between
real
your
quick,
owner
Mark,
and general
before
manager.
you change subjects, I want to point out also that y'all's last Patriots game tickets were as low as $39.
Say it again, Color.
$39.
I wish the Dolphins had tickets for $39.
You know what? Our last game against the Jets, what the lowest tickets were? $79 for the Jets in a freaking nothing burger game.
Bro.
And our fans got excited because we had a chance to fall into the playoffs. So we showed up in droves like a bunch of idiots.
Color, your original statement to me, and I still want you to answer this, is what is a fan base supposed to do to put a stop to the mediocrity that is the Miami Dolphins or any NFL franchise? Because the reality is most people are not going to, they're going to buy their season tickets or they're not going to buy their season tickets. Are they a true indicator on if a team is losing money or not? No. You got TV rights deal. You got merchandising deal.
Dolphins you know what is. And I said this yesterday on your show, and I want to point out, look, Nando was being honest. Yep. Okay, him and his buddies, and a lot of people probably are renewing their tickets or upgrading or whatever. But later in the day, or even last night on Larry Kay's show, he had at least one person saying they've taken their name off the waiting list. Had another person saying they're canceling their season tickets, and had another person saying they're canceling their Sunday ticket.
I already canceled my Sunday ticket. I've gone to Fubo TV, and I'm going to go ahead and get YouTube TV
at some
for the
point,
NFL season.
The organization has to lose money over this. And if they're not losing money, they're never going to stop, bro. They're never going to stop. I picked on Mark a lot because his answer to me to that same question months ago, Stephen D, was wait for our owner to die. That was Mark's answer.
That's what happened in Buffalo.
But
their owner died, and they got new ownership in the team.
I understand where you're coming from, Mark, but that's not a real viable answer, bro.
But it might be.
There has to be an outlet. There has to be some kind of protections for the consumer
Mark,
when it comes to the NFL.
Here's a difference, Mark, between your previous owner and Stephen Ross. Your previous owner,
well, mine's assumed room temperature. That's
your previous owner was a bargain shopper, would try to do just enough to make it look like they're being competitive, right? When your old owner passed away and the new owners took over, they were like, well, we want to get back to, the Buffalo was like, we want to get back to Super Bowls. We want a chance to rewrite the four falls of Buffalo. We want to do all this, right? Miami with Stephen Ross. You say what you want about him, and I do, and Color does. I know the Fins Tailgate don't like him, and I know Miami Sports Music's not a big fan of Stephen Ross, but I can tell you one thing right now. The man has blank paychecks and will do whatever he can to win a Super Bowl. That's proven.
Not true, Stephen T. That is not true.
I disagree. I used
to think like you do, bro. Up until a month ago, I thought like you do. That is just not true.
Okay, so what changed your mind?
The fact that we're running it back with a quarterback that can't get past 13 games in a season.
Well, I mean, and I think that's
good morning.
How about this, Stephen D? And how about the fact that the man out of his own mouth,
who, Ross,
6 months ago defined to us what the definition of insanity was, and now we've got fans out there who will remain nameless for the moment, who have started a hashtag Run It Back 2023. I want to, you know what, Stephen D, you were formerly a betting man, correct?
Yeah, formerly.
And great. Godspeed to you, bro. Stop and doing that because, you're the better man than I. Now, I don't hurt myself doing it because I don't have anything to hurt myself with. I don't have no money anyway. But I am a guy that likes to follow the probabilities and odds. And do you all realize where the term run it back came from? Do you know where that term means?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, let me explain. In high stakes private poker games, Texas Hold'em, they'll turn the river card over. And if a person loses, they all have a gentleman's agreement that the person can call to turn another river card over to double down. That's called literally in the poker world, running it back. They throw up their finger and they say, run it back. That is literally the definition of gambling. It's also the definition of the word insanity. Running it back. Is that not doing the same thing again, expecting a different result?
I got you, Color. So
how about
Color? I just want to clarify.
Hashtag insanity.
Color, I just want to clarify.
I don't want you to torment my head with this. I just want to clarify,
Color. You are basically stating, for Stephen Ross's point of view, granted, he comes out, he's signing blank checks, he's allowing the football people to do their football thing, but little things make you see, well, he's not everything he's made out to be, because if he truly did care, he would, do this differently. He wouldn't allow. And it has Color, what I'm saying is, he's not smart enough to make those decisions.
Right, but Stephen D, there was a subtle verbiage change that a lot of people didn't notice, and I pointed this out again last night. It's the 5th time I've pointed it out in the last 6 months. During the hiring press conference of Brian Flores, he repeated himself, the words he used during the hiring press conference of Adam Gase, that we are building a winner and we are focused on winning a Super Bowl. That's the goal. In the hiring press conference of Mike McDaniel, hold on, Pete. In the hiring press conference of Mike McDaniel, you can clearly hear that verbiage change where he says, we're going to put together a winner and and the goal is to hopefully win a Super Bowl. There's the verbiage change. But we are not getting the resources we need to win a Super Bowl going forward.
Color, this past offseason, did they not go out and try to do literally everything they could? And
we hopefully won a Super Bowl.
Oh, but we didn't, right? So let's see what happens this offseason. Now, here's why I say he's not smart enough. Because he is somebody, unlike Jerry Jones, that whoever the football people he decides to leave in charge of the football side of things, he shuts up and listens to them. Okay? So that's Greer's got his ear. So if Greer's sitting here telling him, for whatever reason, hey, look, we're going to run it back with Tua. We're going to do it again with Tua. We think that Tua's the guy, and if he can stay healthy, there's no point in giving up assets for the future to do this. The one thing I can say about Stephen Ross is he's tried, but he is not smart enough in any way, shape, or form when it comes to football moves to do it the right way or do it in a way that allows.
Fair enough, Stephen D. But how does Stephen Ross get the message from the fans? Because that conversation you're talking about more likely went something like this. We're running it back with Tua because, in case you didn't notice, we're killing it in jersey sales.
I mean,
and we've convinced the fan base, and we've gaslit the fan base for you, Mr. Ross. So we're all primed and ready to do what you want to do.
I will say this: Tua was not top 10 in jersey sales this year. At the end, he was only in top 10 for about a 7-week span of the entire year.
Right, but the analogy, I mean, the example still plays out because it's not just jersey sales. You're right.
And look, I'm not mad at your theory there. I think it's it has a lot of you have stuff to back up that theory. I agree with that.
Well, real quick, Kyle this morning was on Joe Rose show. Kyle Krebs, right, from Locked On Dolphins, right, and he made a very interesting point that just. I was just coming around thinking, okay, well, what do we get? We're running it back. I guess, well, it's another year. We got to find a way we can win. I got to find a way for next season, every single week, to tell everybody how we're going to win with an inferior quarterback. And I thought, well, no big deal. I can do it. Tua is not that bad. I mean, there's ways to find us to be able to win with him. Okay, so fine. And then Kyle just like reset me back again with his words. He made a really very astute point. He pointed out the fact that this current situation we're in, if you think about, he didn't say this part, but if you think about it, it's actually worse than going and getting a star quarterback, because he pointed out that in order for us to succeed and have a decent season and meet expectations like getting to a playoff, winning one, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, goals we set before the start of this season. In order to attain those goals, we are going to have to spend more money than anybody else in the league on a starting caliber backup quarterback.
Well, I disagree with that.
The assets for that.
I disagree with that because Skylar Thompson is going to be one of the cheapest quarterbacks.
Fine, Pete. Fine. Okay. But put Skylar aside for a second. Let's imagine that he is just looking good because we're so starved for a good quarterback that we're fooled. Let's just say that
could be the case.
Just do it for a second. Put Skylar aside. He's right. Where are we going to find the assets to get a starting caliber backup quarterback that is also willing to play backup quarterback?
Well, I mean,
and everybody wants to wonder why we get guys like Teddy Bridgewater in here.
Color, I think the name that intrigues me the most personally is Gardner Minshew, and Skylar's not going anywhere.
Bro, really, Gardner Minshew. I know it's fun. I know Level 2 Noobs got the whole gimmick going on with Gardner, but
I don't think it's far fetched, man.
I'm with Pete. I'd rather start Skylar Thompson.
I'm with you on that one, Color. Yeah. And when I was asking for Gardner Minshew last offseason, how come you didn't like him?
Because I didn't want him as a starter. And if Gardner Minshew came here, he would not be a starter. He would be a backup.
You hear this, Color?
Exactly, but he's not a starting caliber quarterback. And when we have a quarterback that can only play 12 games, we need another starter.
Right, it's the same.
We found that out this year.
What's up, Crypto? What's up, everybody?
So the Dolphins, here's the bet that they're laying in, and I'm not mad.
By the way, Color, good analogy on the gambling thing. That's spot on.
Pointed out this, DVD. I know it. I want to pause you for just a second because along with all this, Krebs pointed out one thing: the sample size is large enough. Going back to college, this man will not play more than 13 games in a season. It will not happen.
I'm not too like.
It's not if he gets hurt; it's when he gets hurt. I said that at the beginning of last season. Everybody,
look,
pulled my head off when I said that.
All right, so gentlemen, what is the alternative?
Well,
look, I don't think Tua was going to be on the roster by the time the
press
season
conferences
starts.
like you had on Monday and go out there and tell somebody that every position is on the line. Start by doing that.
In all reality, the alternative is not to gamble like we've done for 30 years and like Stephen Ross says we don't want to do anymore. And when I think this is a facade. What I just illustrate to you is the definition of gambling, running it back.
Stephen, this is how I know our organization is lying to us, and they really probably don't even believe in Tua. And I mean this, Stephen.
Look, if we all want to roll the dice and be that guy in the casino,
well, this is how I know we're not running it back, though, Color. This is how I know we're not running it back with Tua. Stephen and everybody, listen to me. Last week, before we were heading to play the Bills, Stephen, they clearly told us, no matter what, Tua will not be playing versus Kansas City. Right or wrong? He was already out versus Kansas City.
Yeah, the report was Tua wouldn't play against Kansas City. That is correct.
Right?
Right.
So yes. That means they said he was. This is what they said on that report, that Tua will not play versus Kansas City because he will not clear concussion protocol. Okay. Mind you, those are all assumptions, right? The Dolphins organization in that Greer interview, McDaniel clearly states that Tua is the one with his doctors. He's the one going out there to go get his doctors. We don't know if he's searching for doctors every day, if he's pushing hard. We don't know a lot of this stuff, right? But one thing we do know is that Greer confirmed, right? Mind you, he confirmed that Tua will be the 2023 starter. Mind you, Stephen, this is the same quarterback that as of today is still placed on concussion protocol. As of today, he cannot find a doctor to clear him. This could be another Javed Best situation, Stephen.
And Pete, to me,
no doctor will ever clear this guy. And Greer has said that he is the starter, and he has not been cleared.
Pete, that is an extreme theory.
Well, Pete, that will be the
was it an extreme theory when the Lions running back Javed Best?
Hold on, Pete. I got a question. Stephen D, can you now be fair to us since we've illustrated the anecdotal evidence that supports our position? Can you now illustrate the anecdotal evidence to support what you just said to Pete, that is an extreme position?
To say that no doctor's ever going to clear him? That's an extreme. How is that an
extreme position when we have an example where it's already happened with a player?
Because who's that example?
He just told you. Best.
Who? I didn't hear the name.
I don't remember the guy's first name. Bess.
Ruben Bess.
I don't know who that is, or the
Ruben Bess.
The last guy that he was a NFL blackballed because he couldn't get cleared by a doctor.
Right. Ruben Bess could not be cleared to play because of concussion protocols. He was with Buffalo for a while.
Okay.
Went over to Detroit and was never cleared to play again because of repeated concussions.
Was there anything else that
probably?
Was there anything else that he was affiliated with that he was blackballed from the league? I put that in quotes.
No.
Okay. All right. I would have to. Javad Best is what they're saying. I'll have to look.
Javon Best. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'll have to go look at that.
Everybody keeps ignoring the corporate aspect of this. The NFL will not accept the liability. If they put him on the field again, he gets hurt.
So
they can sue him.
Pete's take,
sue the league.
Pete's take or Pete's theory, okay, is that no doctor is going to clear Tua, so that it's irrelevant from the standpoint of what the Dolphins are going to do, because they're going to be covered, quote unquote, by the fact that no doctor's ever going to clear them, and the Dolphins already know.
And I just simply don't understand why that's seen as an extreme opinion.
Because up until this Best situation, I didn't know that there was anybody in the NFL history that had never, hey, we're not going to clear you. You were just susceptible. We're just not going to clear you.
And also had a rash. If you remember a couple years back, you had a rash of players, young players, that quit playing football in their prime. Were they told by their doctors that they wouldn't be cleared on the next one and they wanted to bow out on their own?
Well, I mean, the Luke Kuechly situation is the one that sticks out for me, right? And Andrew Luck to a certain extent too. But But Luke Kuechly said that, based on talking to doctors and specialists that have to do with brains, that he didn't want to keep playing football because he wanted to be able to, CTE.
Well, Steven, you still have dodged the question, and because it's still being asked in chat, we're being told that it's a super casual take to say that a doctor won't clear you. I want a reason. I want somebody to.
All right, so
do the same thing we are. Illustrate a reason why that's a casual take.
Here's my answer to you, Color. Before the Javad Best situation, which I will do my research on this afternoon, Color.
And by the way, I would put my money on it if I had any.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead, $ Color Comp. I will bet y'all's money all day long.
Before Javad Best, I have not heard of any player not getting clearance from the NFL based on concussion. Best is the first I have ever heard of this. So I will go do my research on Best. So with the exception of that person and that situation, which I am ignorant to because I don't know enough about it. I don't know about it at all. I was under the impression or to the awareness of there had never been a player in the history of the NFL that had never not gotten past concussion protocol. So if based on what I knew, based on the knowledge that I had in front of me, I think that's an extreme opinion. But if Pete and you are saying, no, this has happened in the NFL before, there's precedent here.
I haven't said it one time, but I've heard it repeatedly over the last 3 weeks.
I got you. I'm telling you, I will go do my research and reserve my opinion on it. But until such time, I will say, until I confirm, hey, look, Best was out of the league, or there's no other theories associated with Best.
Hey, bro, you're gifted, man. That is a brilliant dodge, bro, because everybody knows it's reality. You don't have to confirm anything. Everybody knows this guy got.
You want me
out of the league.
And I'm not saying you in general, Color, but people in general are like, oh, put your name behind it. Don't dot. I don't know enough about it. I'm ignorant to it.
Everybody out there, go on your Google search, right? This is crazy.
Like your chat literally corrected Pete with the name.
Hold on. Hey,
it's a reality, Steven.
I have not done the research for Javad Best to feel one way or the other about the situation.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Google, right? I just went on
talking
Google.
over you.
Hold on, real quick. Look how crazy.
I'm sitting here hosting a show. I can't sit there and Google it right now and read in fine detail of it and ignore my show.
For you, Steven, I put NFL players that retired due to concussions.
There's a difference between a player retiring because of a concussion and the NFL not giving them clearance.
I said anecdotal evidence.
But I want to say,
and you're not even providing me anecdotal evidence as to why Pete's take is so extreme.
Because before I heard about Javad Best, I had never in the history of the NFL heard the NFL not not clearing a player off a concussion
protocol. But even as a businessman, you can't imagine that.
I've never heard of it before.
But as a businessman, could you not imagine a corporation doing that?
I have never heard of it before. What do you want me to say, Color?
What do you mean, Steven? Come on.
I have never heard of it.
You run a business. You know from the business aspect of it that it's possible it's happened.
There are hundreds of players that have retired because of concussions, but is it because the NFL would not allow them get cleared? That is the question.
And as a businessman, you have to assume that that's true.
There had never been a case. It hurts the NFL to do that. If the NFL had
these days, not if it looks like they're looking out for the player.
Listen to this, Color. If the NFL had on record, hey, we are not allowing this person to play in the NFL anymore because we're not going to pass him due to concussion protocol. Do you understand what kind of precedent that would set?
Yes, a good one for them, given their current situation.
It would hurt them more than it would help them.
It would help them. They're literally trying to convince everybody they care about the players.
But Javad Best, how many years ago was it?
Reckless.
I just don't understand why it's an extreme take. That's all. Your position seems more extreme than Pete's.
That's fine. I'm telling you, I've never heard of it, and I'm sticking with that. when I go do research this afternoon, I'll look up the Javad Best situation. I'll look up, hey, concussion protocols. Anybody, has the NFL never passed anybody in concussion protocol?
You're missing what I'm saying. Take Best off the situation. Take the fact that it's never that it's happened once before out of it. Can you not imagine as a businessman that would happen?
That the NFL,
as a corporation,
as the NFL. Why am I saying
dismissing all of the corporate aspects of the NFL, bro? You're just dismissing it right out the window.
To me, the NFL would hurt. In my mind, it would do more detriment to them to set this precedent than it would to do the right thing.
Well, that's an opinion that we
they don't have a history of doing the right thing. Color, you're asking me to look into a huge company like the NFL who has a clear history of not making the right decision.
Okay, so take the NFL's name off of it. Okay, like the analogy I've used already.
They're always looking at their bottom dollar.
The analogy I've used already before. Okay, take the NFL off of it. Pick any corporation.
Okay,
the one I just used to work for. Okay, we all had ladders. No, we all had ladders in our service van.
Huge company. I got you.
We all had ladders in our service van. Those ladders have a duty rating for weight. If that duty rating is 200 pounds and I weigh 205 and I get up on that ladder and fall, the company will be held liable whether they told me it was against the rules to get up on that ladder or not.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they can prove they told me that I wasn't allowed on that ladder, they will still be held liable for even allowing me to have a ladder that can't support my own weight.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with my choice as an adult.
Okay.
And that's the way I'm looking at it here, bro. It's a corporation.
You're asking, all right, a corporation, big corporations have a history, a well-known documented history. They will always take what's best for their bottom dollar over what's right.
Now you're asking them to risk a lawsuit.
Exactly.
NFL for years covered up concussions. They knew it wasn't good. They didn't know to the extent. I don't think they ever thought this.
But Stephen, why would they want to go through that again?
We all said the
exactly right. You're telling them to let Tua give them the risk of another lawsuit of hitting their bottom line.
No, you're telling me what I am saying is there's never been a precedent before from what I knew. So now you're asking me to say that the NFL is going to do the right thing with Tua?
It's not about the right thing. It's about what you just said, their bottom line.
He would be the first, bro.
He would be a liability, and they're not going to do it.
I gotta be honest.
Look, I said 3 weeks ago, I was like, I don't think he'll play another snap for the Dolphins. Now that they've been like on a press conference contradicting what I just said.
Now you're getting to the crux of why they said what they said and why they're covering up the fact that the Buffalo hit was a concussion. Now you're getting there. Because if it's only 2 concussions and they can convince everybody of that, then yes, an off season of rest will make him a viable quarterback again for another team. But if that doesn't happen, if it's exposed that was a 3rd concussion, he will not take a snap in the NFL again. Mark my words.
But Color, you just contradicted yourself. And let me tell you, hold on for a second. You said that the Dolphins are going to do everything in their power to make sure Tua doesn't see the field again. If that was the case, then they would have come out and publicly said that Buffalo hit was.
It depends on whether they can. It depends on whether
you're not pass that. Used to lying to people.
Stephen D.
It depends based on your logic and theory.
It depends on whether they can get away with setting that platitude. If he only had 2 concussions, then he's perfectly fine to rest in the offseason and be a quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
Stephen, let me ask you a question. Will the Dolphins look smart if we keep Tua and he has another concussion next year? Or would it be smarter for the Dolphins to try to trade him away and let another team deal with that problem?
You're asking me for the Dolphins to have logic, which they have not had any since 1970s.
Come on, you can't retract the question like that. It's just a simple question. What organization will look smart? The Dolphins keeping him.
The Dolphins have never really made a smart decision.
Then why
do you the Dolphins?
Well, according to all 300,000 of you in 2020, we did. It was tank for Tua for you guys. Y'all got who y'all wanted. Now we're suffering with him. So now I ask the question again. If the organization moves forward as a starter with Tua in 2023, Steven, he has another concussion in the season. Does that make our organization look like a clown?
Yes.
Or does that make So now if we trade him away, does that make our organization look smart? And if another team deals with those issues, does that make them look like a clown and us a little bit smarter?
No, because they'll turn him into man.
It would be a logical, smart decision if the Dolphins did that, but they have never made a smart, logical decision. They've never done it.
Right. So why do you think they will now?
That's because Greer is interested in not being proven wrong.
It's the whole point of them retaining Tua.
It wasn't Larry Tunsil a smart decision, Stephen D?
Say what?
Wasn't trading Laramie Tunsil a smart decision?
I mean, that was Chris Greer.
But what you got out of it, not necessarily.
That was one of the biggest works in NFL history.
What
did you actually get for Laramie Tunsil?
Afterwards, what happened is it's a totally different story.
We got 2 1s for Tunsil.
Yeah, I mean, look, we made Laramie Tunsil. That trade will go down.
60% of the fan base thinks that Flores was an evil man who needed to be burned at the stake. So they fired him. Is that a logical decision?
No, it wasn't.
Then you must agree they shouldn't have fired him then. And I haven't heard you say that.
Are you asking me what I feel about the Flores situation?
No, because I don't want to devolve this into that discussion, and I don't think you're required to state your position on that. You know what I mean?
I want to give it. I want to basically say, look, I haven't really agreed with the Dolphins' decisions over the last 7 head coaching regimes. I haven't. You know, I like McDaniel. McDaniel was never my first choice. I liked Flores.
He wasn't the Dolphins' first choice neither.
What is he the choice of 31 other teams?
Well, let me finish. I liked Flores, but I think he had things that held him back from making him a good head coach.
That's not why he was fired, bro. That's not why he was fired.
Hold on, chill. Adam Gase never thought he was the right decision. Joe Philbin never thought he was the right decision. Cam Cameron never thought he was the right decision. I mean, look, list.
Do you think it was the right decision to fire him, not to hire him?
What with Flores? I think that they went about it the wrong way, and the smart decision would have been sitting him down in the room and saying, "What do you need to succeed? Okay, this is it. Let me give that to you." And
you were saying 20 minutes ago that Ross has always made those decisions for us.
Well, no, Ross backed up Greer. That's what that was.
They asked Flores that question, and he told them not Tua. He said exactly who he wanted in that draft, and they didn't give it to him.
Look,
he tried.
Ross had a choice. You either back up your head coach or you back up a GM that's been in the building for over 15 plus years at that point.
You back your head coach.
He decided to go with Greer. Am I mad at it? It's the reality of the situation that happens.
Chris Greer is the one who destroyed your organization.
Can I give a take to that? Real quick?
So if when Flores goes to Arizona and he becomes very successful, which he's going to be, he's going to be.
Yeah,
and
he will.
You don't think the fan base should be mad about that?
I 100% the day Flores was
mad about Drew Brees.
I 100%
won't be mad about that.
The Drew Brees was stupid.
What are we crying about today?
Flores goes to another place. He will learn from his previous coaching errors here in Miami. He will not make those same mistakes again, and he will be successful in his next place.
But for some reason, Mike
I
McDaniel gets to try again.
I said the same thing about Josh McDaniels, and we saw what happened with McDaniels.
Right, but hold on. What did he have here that that was so bad for him that he has to redo, or what? There's nothing.
I think for me,
Steven, stop the nonsense, Steven. You were saying that the Raiders will go freaking well. Damn, they're going undefeated.
He was not fired for performance.
I believe, and based on conversations with current players that were there during his regime, through secondhand, contact with those people, not firsthand, it was told to me that he could not get along with other people in the building. and he pissed off Greer. That's what happened.
Okay.
No, I give you one better, Steven.
You don't think Belichick does the same thing?
Belichick's one of the smartest and greatest head coaches of all time. Flores isn't there yet.
Hold on, that's to be debatable.
Not that guy before.
There's nothing to debate about that. There's no debate. There's no debate. There's no debate.
Robert Kraft gave Belichick that power. Belichick had to prove it.
There's the
hold on, guys.
And Flores showed he can't handle it.
I would take.
All right, here we go.
Hold on. I've always said, Caslin, that I would take a veteran head coach who's been a head coach somewhere else before I would take a rookie head coach any day of the week.
I agree with you. But also, Flores, there was nothing wrong with him.
Belichick was hired. Belichick got the power that Kraft gave him. He had not proven anything to that point.
Just like 90% of every head coach to have arrogance.
He's arrogant because he wants what he wants done.
Everyone who's
define his arrogance.
What are we? Everyone who's trying to blame Greer and say it's not
one
at a time. Greer tried to do. I've been trying to talk for the last 5 minutes. CB83 got to wait.
Being a team player.
Can we do a quick recap?
Color. Hold up, guys. Hold on.
Not being a team player.
Hold up, everybody.
Because Chris Greer got about something he said.
I'm trying to say something, but they don't want me to get it out because they know it's
Rashad,
true.
hold on 1 second. CB83 hit the reset.
Can we do a quick recap on what we are crying about today? Can we do a quick recap because I got to figure it out. I want to assess.
I'd rather hear Rashad's serious take.
I'm coming in here to assess.
I'd rather hear.
You need to rewind. Go on to YouTube on another device and rewind.
If you need to catch up, wake up.
Hey,
bro.
time. Hey,
you guys really just interrupt Rashad.
Thank you, fellas. Y'all better time me out before I get out. Y'all better time me out before I get at the Wolfpack haters.
Like I was trying to say, but
go ahead.
The recap is the recap done. Okay.
No, go ahead, Rashad.
Let's not pretend that Greer and Ross didn't do everything in their power to get Flores everything he wanted. They went on a limb to go get Deshaun Watson, knowing he would get suspended.
Hey, Rashad, I don't know if that's true. Based on what I've heard,
that's not true.
I don't know if that's true.
Rashad.
He went. Wait.
Well, hold up.
He went to Deshaun Watson, told him settle the. Wait. Settle the. No, because I'm not done. Settle the cases. Settle the cases, and we will trade for you. He said, "I'm not settling," and then ended up settling.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
I said Ross. I said Ross and Greer went on the limb to help Flores. He sabotaged himself trying to get Deshaun Watson here, and they even went and tried to get Deshaun Watson.
That's where you're wrong.
It was Stephen Ross that did that, not Greer.
I do not.
It was both of them. Did Ross draft the players and bring in the player? Did Ross draft and sign the players that Flores wanted?
Why we didn't get
Eric
so how does anybody think Ross wasn't going after him?
Wait. Listen,
Ross literally said he has to clean up his lawsuit first.
Who wanted Eric Rowe here? Who wanted Noah Igbenogany here? Who wasted a first round
is
pick?
Responsible for at least one of our wins this year.
Greer signed off on all of that.
Single-handedly.
Hold on.
He signed off on everything. That's
double-handed because he caught the interception with both hands, so it was double-handed.
Color, even a blind squirrel finds the nut.
It's to my point.
Rashad.
Nobody wanted Igbenogany in the first round except for Flo.
Hold on, Rashad.
It paid off years later.
You think Greer wanted Noah?
Were you in the courtroom?
Yes, I was. Yes,
Rashad.
I was right there.
Okay. I was sitting next to your cousin's sister, and no, they didn't want him.
Do you understand?
Talking about Flores, though.
Hold on, Rashad.
Look, it's
understand?
It's water.
Color's right. Every time that Flores' names come up, it sparks. It just sparks.
It's water under the bridge. Why are we even talking about Flores?
Nobody is required.
Because they still won't Flo. Y'all can't admit that Flo made mistakes.
No, he didn't.
That's not why he was fired.
He didn't make mistakes. He didn't make
He's not the opponent. That's why he was fired. The spawn of Satan at the same time.
He didn't make mistakes, but he let Boyer run the defense for the first 8 weeks.
Okay, Rashad.
Well, you also
got smoked by the Jacksonville Jaguars,
like they tried to make us believe.
Falcons. Get out of here.
Yeah, he let Boyer run for the first 8 weeks. And then what happened? What happened? He took over. What happened? What happened? No. What happened?
That's not
Not fired for that.
Hold up, Rashad. We're not saying that, bud. What we're saying, Flores made mistakes. Nobody's sitting here denying that.
Exactly. Of course,
mistakes.
nobody's
Nobody's sitting here denying that. McDaniels made mistakes. Nobody's sitting here denying that.
Why he wasn't fired?
The conversation, the point that Color was trying to make, and Color, if I say this wrong, I apologize, but I believe what he was trying to make is, hey, look, Stephen Ross backed Greer in that situation. Greer was the person that was being backed up there, not Flores. And Flores gave Ross an ultimatum. And from everything that I've heard, it was either you back Greer up or you back me up, because you can't do both because we can't work together anymore. And Ross chose Greer. And that's what happened.
And told the public that Flores was fired for not being collaborative.
Why did he back?
How is that not true?
Now we're sitting here arguing about whether he performed well enough or not.
How is that not
That is
true,
not
Color?
why he was fired.
Color.
Hey, the last thing I
How
want
is
to do
that
is
not true,
argue.
Color?
Hold on. The last thing I want to do is argue about why Flores isn't here. He is no longer our coach. Like, why are we even having these conversations? And the last thing, also another thing,
because that's what we do.
That he was
there
fired
we go.
for
Another
Dolphins.
thing I'm not gonna let you do is retire Tua on your behalf. Like,
Fuck Tua.
Let Tua do it on his own. Hey, he can do it on his own.
Y'all don't like these players go be a
Jaguars. Y'all not gonna retire that man. You're not gonna retire him, Lewis.
And
You can't do shit. Hey, you can't retire him, bro.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. What you gonna do about it?
Organization is gonna
What
do
you gonna do
it.
about it? Watch the game.
The organization is gonna do it. Hey, Lewis, I ain't gotta do it.
Organization regardless, Lewis.
Well, then don't
You
come
gonna
up
support
here
the
and
team
talk about
regardless,
it.
brother.
Don't come up
I
here
ain't
and talk
gotta
what we're
do
gonna
it.
talk about.
Hey, Chris Greer said yesterday, Tua is the dude. He said yesterday,
Hey, you don't think he lies?
bro?
Of course he lies.
Of course he always
It's Tua time.
You salty.
It's
Tua time.
It's mediocre time. It's mediocre time. That's what time
You
it
still
is.
go support. You still go
Ross
support.
also
You still
said that
go
we're not
support
going
now.
Hey, I'm
Run
out.
to a time.
Yeah.
Run to a time right now, bro.
Hashtag run
Crank
it back.
up.
You still a Dolphins fan.
Hashtag run it back
Hashtag run it back.
2023.
I also was a Ray Lucas fan too. What's the difference?
Hashtag chase no money.
Nothing. He's
Hashtag
mediocre
run it
too.
back
Hashtag
2023.
Exactly. I was a Ray Lucas fan. So what's the difference?
Nothing.
Clack.
You're not gonna do nothing about it.
We getting the same result.
Hashtag
support the
pull the lever
team,
and
you
watch
support
it.
Y'all gonna have to pay me off this joint today, boy.
You
gonna have to
support the
pay
team,
me out of
you
here,
We getting
boy.
the
support
same
Tua.
result. No
Somebody gonna have to
difference from Ray
donate.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Same
Hashtag
difference.
river card.
Hey, play
There ain't
Tua
nothing
time.
you
There we
can
go,
do about
Cruz.
it.
Look at my dog Cruz coming through with the $10 crank it.
13 games,
Turn
13
me
games.
up.
Chad Pennington was in the MVP conversation as well.
Hey, y'all
So
hate
what's
Too
the
bad
difference?
Chad
Hey,
gone. Too
What's
bad Chad
crazy is
gone.
this y'all quarterback and y'all hate this dude.
Concussion,
Hey.
Yeah, you just make sure, since you already conceded that he's not your quarterback, make sure you have my money ready. $sign
he might-
color
hey.
com. 2 L's,
Hey.
2 M's.
If the organization say run it back with Tua, shit.
Why
I'm
don't you
supporting
pay
my
your
guy.
debts, CB83?
I'm
You don't have a
supporting
right
my
to talk to
guy.
nobody. Pay your debts.
Concussion.
Don't be a
Cruz that
deadbeat.
dude,
Because
man.
you're a puppet. That's why. That's why.
Hey,
Don't
organization
be a
say run it
deadbeat.
back.
Pay your
Hey,
debts.
I can't
Hashtag color
control
com.
it.
That's what it is.
I
As
can't
soon as
control it,
CB83
bruh.
stops welching on
$sign
his
color
bet,
com.
I'll
Pay your
bet
debts.
Congratulations that you're getting
Hey,
played.
hold on.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm rocking with
Money
Mike
Mitch.
McSwaggy.
Money Mitch.
Mike
As soon as
McSwaggy,
Yeah, but
baby.
he's really
stops
wilding out
welching on his
Wednesday.
bet, I'll bet you I'll bet you on Tua.
I'm
Hey,
so
thanks,
sorry,
Andres.
guys.
Thanks, Negron. Thanks, Negron.
It sucks to be miserable.
Clowns will be out of here next year. Don't worry. Once their precious Tua's gone, they'll all be gone. It ain't gonna
Oh,
matter.
so now it's next year. So now it's next year now.
After, yeah, because the
As soon as
organization.
In the first 6 years, you probably gonna get
Money Mitch.
or get something broke on his
I got
body.
love
You
for the
gotta wait a
Wolfpack,
whole
Lewis.
another year.
Lewis, I got
It's
love
not
for the
if. It's not a
Wolfpack.
matter
Ain't got
if.
nothing
It's a
to do
matter
with
of
no
when.
Wolfpack.
Hey, like I said, when Welch's grape soda
Hey,
next to
I
me
got
pays
love
his Let's bet. I'll bet money.
Ain't got nothing to do with the Wolfpack. Ain't got nothing to do with no
BB.
Wolfpack. Yeah, I know.
They don't work.
Let's go.
Steven, why are you antagonizing folks?
I'm sorry, man. He paid $10 to
Maybe
hear
you
the
know what
song.
time it is.
He paid $10 to hear the song. I'm a man of the people. I'm sorry.
Man of the people.
Hey, Stephen D. Look at pull up Batman's comment. Pull up Batman's comment.
That's my hashtag I started 2 weeks ago. Now y'all want to say it left and right. Y'all clown me for it. Well, I'm glad everyone is embracing it now.
First of all, embracing starts with an E, not an I. And second of all,
are you giving them grammar lessons?
So you teaching right now?
Did you not hear the beginning of the show? Run it back. Yeah, let's gamble. Let's gamble. Let's do exactly that. Let's run it back.
Hey, Shake, I'm just going to put you in the back for a second, Shake.
Now, Color, here we go. Hey, so let me help the Wolfpack out a little bit. Now, I do agree that we need some reinforcements in the quarterback.
Look at Bonjo. Go ahead.
I do think we need reinforcements in the quarterback room.
Damn, Stevie. You're gone for 10 minutes. Stevie gone.
Thank you. I was just about to let him know. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear any of CB83's take, any of that run it back. These guys talking about running it back, and Tua has not cleared.
Lewis, are you telling me that there's somebody capping up here, Lewis?
Of all
goddamn right.
Bon Joe pumping iron out here.
Lewis, stop cussing, Lewis.
Bon Joe is doing his Richard Simmons workout this morning.
Of all people to be calling for running it back, Stephen D, you, a non-betting man, is calling to run it back.
What you mean, Color?
And you know what?
Guys.
Saying the comment, I have never said those words. I've never said those words.
Listen, I'm saying those words. We are running it back, baby. 9 and 8, 8 and 9. That's what we love to be.
Actually, we were like 6 and 11. Did you see our schedule?
I can answer Justin's question. Ask the Pittsburgh fans.
Kenny Pickett had multiple concussions. Why are people saying he needs to retire?
Ask the Pittsburgh fans.
Nobody does mediocre like Dolphins. If you're gonna
because
Florida, nobody
that's cap about it, Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
Concussion time.
Hey, this is the issue I'm having. Some of the fan base.
89.
Come on, Shake.
Like, what is that? That's that dumb shit right there.
If y'all think we're gonna be somebody else is gonna out mediocre us, you have another thing coming. You saw what Chris Greer said. You saw what Mikey said. Okay, hold my beer. Run it back.
I want to answer the question about Kenny Pickett. You trolling, bro. Somebody time Von Joe. Hey, Pete, I want to answer the question of why we're not asking Kenny Pickett.
This is what your GM said.
Hold on.
What our head coach said.
I'm not buying you right now. I'm not buying.
Go ahead, Lewis.
From you, Bonjo. I'm sorry.
Listen. Y'all can let this team stress y'all out. I told y'all.
You know why? Lewis, is Bonjo not bothering you, Lewis? Hey, you know why?
It ain't stressing me out at all. I'm perfectly fine being insane. That's my comfort zone.
I know Von Joe's trolling. I know Von Joe's
trolling. But you know why? Gonna get me stressed out. This team ain't stressing me out this year. Nope.
You know why? You know why we didn't ask Kenny Pickett to retire? Because he's only shown us 1 season of trash, not 3.
Wow.
Tua shown us 3 seasons of trash.
Tell us how you really feel, Lewis.
And I wonder if anybody asking that question frequents Pittsburgh panels enough to know that they're not calling for it.
Did he stay frequent Pittsburgh panels enough? I didn't know Pittsburgh had an online community.
All I know is this. I visited a Saints show yesterday and asked them in chat what they thought about Tua. And all I heard was they need to protect that man and not let him play again. That's all I heard.
And
but
to
be fair, Color, that is the national media's response.
That was the Saints panel. That was the Saints chat show.
I understand that. But the Saints aren't listening to local reporters. They're not listening. They're not dealing with the way we're dealing with it.
Stephen D.
That was the Saints version of your show. No, it was the Saints version of your show.
I hear you. But what information are they getting to say that? They are getting.
We're all getting
media information.
The same as we're all getting.
Listen. All I know is I'm doing the Stephen D and Nando talk and sipping on this mediocrity.
I also asked this question, Stephen D.
Refreshing.
There you go, Von Joe. It's refreshing.
Guys, I've been out.
Fins up, baby.
I've been out field journalizing.
Make sure you squeeze some lemon in it, Von Joe. Make sure you squeeze some lemon in it.
Of course, we have to make it alkaline.
Hold on. I asked him this question, Stephen.
Squeeze that lemon inside.
If hypothetically, if your front office
He's gonna be okay with everything now.
Hypothetically, if
Bonzo
your
will
front
be okay
office
with every
was
move
talking
now.
to the Miami Dolphins for either Skyler or Tua, hypothetically, who would you be pressing your front office to get? You know what response I got?
I'm gonna be real. You know who I want?
Zero. I got zero responses to that question.
Y'all already know who I want. Y'all think I'm a two-in-ear?
Yeah, you are.
Nope. Give me Brady. Give me mother Brady. That's what if you're asking me who I really want next year, I want Brady.
Give me Brady.
What
You got two-in-ears.
Stick your chest out, Steven.
Steven
Say
D.
it with your chest,
Steven D. Let me wake you up a little bit.
Steven Ross
Let me
is
catch you up
watching.
to speed a little bit. You got two-in-ears out there calling for Brady to come here to back up Tua.
No, I want No, if Brady comes here, I don't want
That's
Tua.
insane.
I want Brady to start.
That's ridiculous.
I want Brady to bring Rob Gronkowski back from the dead. Okay,
What
I
y'all
want him to
don't
bring
realize-
all these veterans with him.
People that are out there cheering the fact, cheering the idea of a competition at QB2. Which team in the history of the NFL has ever had a competition for QB2?
None. It don't happen.
The Dolphins.
And if they did, which one of them has ever made that public?
The Dolphins.
Brady to groom Tua, Steven.
We did. Yo, hold on.
Right.
Guys, you know we did this last summer.
That question was asked to McDaniel about QB1, and they tried to make it like it was QB2.
Exactly. It was a QB2 competition. Come on, listen. We did this last summer. You asked the questions that we just answered last year.
QB2 competition. I've heard it all.
2 weeks ago.
I've literally
2
heard
weeks
it all.
ago, Steven was off Tua.
Only the Dolphins have a QB2 conversation.
You're right, Lewis. The Jets, us beating the Jets caused this nonsense.
What did I tell you Monday, Stephen? What did I tell you last Monday, Stephen, when it was me and you on the panel? What did I tell you?
I don't remember.
Us beating the Jets was what caused this.
How many runners compete per sniffer?
Was I right? Was I right?
He said that. Us beating the Jets was going to cause this.
Okay.
And how many?
If we'd have just lost to the Jets, we would have cleaned house already.
Where are we at, Stephen? And where are we at right now, Stephen?
Running it back, baby.
We can thank Jason Sanders for this.
Running it back, allegedly.
Right, exactly.
Sending our team into another 57 years of purgatory.
How many people?
I like for next year.
How many people in the Olympics compete for silver?
He's a member. He's a member, Stephen D.
Never heard anyone say Brady for QB2, but let's just hear it once.
That is just rich. That's rich.
Listen, all I know is.
Ever heard of the term Tua hater?
Steven, everybody needs to be like me. Listen, when your expectations get as low as mine, you feel just fine. Zero expectations. I have zero expectations.
Here, all right, so let me just state for the record. If somebody asked Steven, if you had a perfect choice, what would you want next year? Brady would be my number one. Okay. If the Dolphins decide to go with Tua again next year, I'm gonna be on board. I'm gonna be here for it. I'm gonna root for it. I'm gonna be let's go Tua. I'm all
for it. Of course you will. You used to
okay?
being gaslit by the organization.
Whatever. Don't go there with your gaslighting term and your hot dog eating ass.
Steven.
Third thing.
Hold on, let me ask the panel. Let me ask the panel.
The apex of gaslighting is making fun of somebody for saying they're being gaslit, right? You're literally double down on the gaslighting.
My third thing is I would want Gardner Minshew to come here and be the backup. And that's my top three. Brady, number two, if Tua's gonna stay here, which allows for three to happen where Gardner's the backup for Tua.
That's what I want.
I'm just giving you my different options that I would be like,
man, you want to come be a backup? Oh, he'd fit.
Let me ask you a question, Steven.
Put
let me
that
ask you a question. We'll just have three backups once again on the roster.
In South Beach, man.
Hold on. Let me ask the panel.
Starting quarterback all the way to the third string would be backups.
Have you guys seen our schedule? Not the actual times and days.
6 wins tops.
Hey, by the way, real
prediction,
quick,
6 and 11.
If you're gonna
y'all let me know when I can say something.
Hey, if you're thinking about it, Baltimore, Washington, and Philadelphia, Miami Sports Music will be doing takeovers for all three of those events and meet and greets. So just stay tuned.
Not taking over those stadiums. Those stadiums are winning franchises.
Washington, Baltimore,
those
and
teams
Philly
are winning teams.
We're having huge away games.
You tell
too bad our team won't be taking over the stadium. But,
like seriously, it's becoming
not taking over those stadiums. I tell you that much.
Maybe Washington. We could take on.
For all we know, Jalen Hurts could be coming off a Super Bowl championship one by the time we go there next year.
But Philly, no. But Steven, with running it back, the team as constructed, how many wins do you give us next year based off what you see? Your way too early prediction.
My way too early prediction, barring not as many injuries as we had this year and making some offseason moves.
No, I said no offseason moves. I said as is.
Well, you're gonna make some offseason moves, dude.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Like,
no, you don't.
You're not making no offseason moves. What are you talking about?
Fully healthy, though? Can I say fully healthy?
You can say fully healthy.
No, because you have to factor in that Tua's going to miss at least 12 games.
Fully healthy, I think this team can win 11 or 12 games.
Hey, hold on. So if we're talking run it back, we're about to run it back with Teddy Bridgewater too. So we shouldn't talk backup quarterback.
Every time we talk about bringing in a quarterback that's like
Teddy Bridgewater's coming back.
A starter. It's funny because we can't even talk about those guys as a backup because they're so afraid.
You have to factor in that our starting quarterback is only going to play 11
left on the table right now is actually Derek Carr, but they will never hear that conversation because they're so afraid of Tua getting out.
Hey, so Steven, if it's run it back, then we're running it back with Teddy B.
No,
everything has to come back the same. It's run it back.
Skyler, baby. We're running it back.
We're going to give another $10 or $15 million to another used-up, has-been starting quarterback, and we're all going to laugh. We're all going to call him trash when Tua gets hurt. We're all going to call our backup quarterback trash like we did this year.
Joe, what's cracking, bro?
We're all going to be upset that we gave him $15 million, and we're going to rinse and repeat next year.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater should come back.
Yo, what's good, CB?
I think, hey, Vonjo, what's good, man? I think Tua will come back, be healthy, play a full season, get us a Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
okay, now you lost it. You lost it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Look, CB83 has actually been pretty fair to Teddy Bridgewater.
I've been fair to everybody, man.
Right. And so what I'm asking you, CB83 is, who do we bring in for backup now that we know that Teddy?
Look. I like Minshew.
There,
CB.
Who do we bring in back full season? It's now still going to be not as good as Tua, but better than Teddy. Who is that guy?
So here we go.
Hold on.
Here we go. I like. Can I say something? Can I answer his question?
Y'all gotta sit here. Hold on, CB.
I can't answer his question, bro.
No, because they disrespected your joke. CB sat there and made a funny joke, told some Tua play a whole season and nobody laughed.
You see, they didn't laugh.
Exactly. I did.
They didn't laugh. Hey, so look, we've gone down the injury gauntlet with Tua. Everything's been hurt on this guy. Literally everything. I figured, look. So I figured next year when he comes back, he's already had head injuries. He's already had rib, finger, hand, knee, lower extremity. We come back next year, he should be ready to go.
Recycle
he's got a
the sample size.
We still got
not finished.
We still got ACL. We have
this troll doesn't even get to me anymore. Y'all time CB out. CB ruins the show, bro. This guy literally ruins the show.
I don't get why y'all still whining. Y'all got what y'all doing.
Why are you whining about people whining?
Y'all see that's what I do. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, why are you whining about people whining?
Bro, you guys are sour.
Because it makes me whine. It makes me sour like y'all. I feel sorry.
Okay, well then go get some cheese.
So for the record, CB83 deflected my question.
I'm trying to answer it. Bon Joe would not let me answer the question. Can you repeat it real quick?
You had a chance. I want to know if Teddy Bridgewater was not the guy to be our backup, obviously.
Okay.
After the results, who is the guy that we pay $10 or $15 million to this year that's better than Teddy but won't upstage Tua? Who is that guy?
The guy.
Skylar Thompson.
I think it's Skylar Thompson's definitely gonna be in the room, but I think
Skylar Thompson wants to start, like he said. His goal is to be.
Let's see.
Yeah, but you're saying stuff about Skylar Thompson that isn't true, Stephen.
Everybody be quiet.
Hey, your server's not even working, dude.
His goal is to be a starter.
Hey, you got that Craigslist internet, man. We don't care about Craigslist internet, bro.
CB83, stop it. Go ahead, CB. Answer the question.
Hey, so like I said before, I was rudely interrupted by this guy with Craigslist internet. Craigslist Wi-Fi. We don't do that Craigslist Wi-Fi. Now, moving on.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about
the man said your internet is a pop-up shop. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's
not.
The more you talk about Tua, the more you're starting to turn to Tua. You're starting to look like Tua. Look at you. Man. You're starting to look like Tua. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror, CB? You're starting to look like him.
I'm pretty.
So the chat is obviously more ready to answer.
I think you look at Tua film so much it's like getting to you.
So I'm going to take the answer. We got Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has too much bravado to ever come in as a backup quarterback.
Gardner Minshew and Jimmy G are good options.
Gardner Minshew is not better than
Jimmy
Teddy
G will
Bridgewater.
be starting in this team.
I would love Jimmy G here.
We don't know that color
him.
in this system, and this is my thing about.
Know that about Teddy Bridgewater last year.
Hey, porn star Jimmy.
Give him 10,
This is my thing about.
If we get Jimmy,
here we go.
Jimmy would definitely be the starter.
This is Tua's first year in this system, Stephen D. Right?
Tua's going to retire.
Here we go with this. It was also Tom Brady's first year in Tampa Bay system.
Can we pull up?
And he's a 17.
How did that work out?
Tua hasn't even cleared concussion protocol.
Excuse.
So what I'm saying is, hey, this is the first year of Tua in this system. If he comes back healthy, there's no telling what we can do.
That's where you lose the argument. There's no him coming back healthy. What part of you don't remember about that?
So there's no.
Then we
run it back with
Crypto, you're wrong.
Nobody hearing
We
that.
run it back with Skyler.
Tua could come back
Like
healthy.
y'all wish.
It's the staying
Y'all
healthy
golden
part.
child.
Hey,
That's
Pete,
where
quiet.
that's
Hey,
where we
Pete, I'm
usually
sorry.
lose it.
Pete, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Y'all don't believe in Skyler?
Well, yeah,
no more?
that's the
what it
issue.
sound like. Y'all don't
Pete,
believe
I'm
in
sorry.
Skyler
If
no
you're
more.
not staying healthy, by definition, you're not healthy in my mind.
Crypto, is Skyler the guy?
Is it still mob internet now?
Time at this very
I'm
time
sorry,
last
Pete.
year, we predicted that CB83 would be saying what he's saying right now.
Is
Saying
Skyler
what?
the guy? Yes or no? That's what I want to know.
Skyler ain't the guy. We saw
Skyler
that.
ain't the guy.
No, I'm not talking to you, Crypto.
The only guy that's
I'm not
within
talking to you,
victory.
CB. I know
Skyler's
what
not
you're
the
saying.
guy.
Hey, don't
Against
you
the
ever call
Buffalo
me
Bills.
better
I'm talking to Caller. I'm
Answer.
talking to
Clippers
Pete.
in the starter
I'm
did,
talking to Crypto.
and we
have
in the
53
second
on.
game against them.
We have 53 guys
Skyler-
now on our roster that have playoff experience. Who is not one of them?
Tua.
That's
So we
hold
go
on.
with the guy that got
no,
playoff experience.
no.
There you go,
Hold
Color.
on, wait a minute. That was the dumbest.
Hey,
that
here
was
we
the
go,
dumbest
Keller.
shit you've ever said,
So, Keller,
I'm
can
be
you ask
real
me
with
some
you.
serious questions,
I'm be
man?
No,
real
it's
with you right
not. We want
Color.
guys with playoff experience.
Keller,
How
can you
is
ask me
it
some
53
serious
men
questions?
and Tua's not one of them if he was on the roster? Would that make it
Because he didn't
52?
play the
He
game.
didn't
And
play.
back
Would
then,
that make
He
it
played the
52?
game.
Never played in a playoff game.
Rashad, you knew
So
what
would
color
that make it
Rashad said.
52?
No, because
Rashad,
Skyler
you know what he's trying to
played
say.
Bye.
Hey, hold on.
Good day. Good day. Good night.
Hey,
Good
this
day,
is
good
Tua's
sir.
first year
And
in the
Jimmy G.
system. He's
We're
going to be
going
better
to the
next year.
Are we winning the Super Bowl with
Man, Craigslist, bro.
We still had a 53-man roster, and Tua wasn't
Joe, why
on.
you laughing?
Are we winning the
That man
Super
got that pop-up shop, bro.
with
He got that
Jimmy
pop-up shop
or
right now.
Tua?
Pete, I can't hear you, bro. Your pop-up
Man,
shop, bro.
Pete, fix that antenna in your room, man. Fix that antenna, bro.
All I was trying to say was I'm predicting next year's pre-built excuse that we get to the playoffs, Tua fails and we lose, and they say, oh, well, it's only his first playoff game. We got to run back again to see how he'll do in another playoff game.
Nah, Tua
There
don't
ain't
get
no
that
running
next
back.
year,
He's
Keller.
the free
Tua
agent,
don't get
genius.
that next
My
year.
word. Just like
Tua
I
ain't
said,
coming
mark
back
my
here.
word last year at this time, mark them again because we're going to be hearing that out of mouth again next year. Tua
Okay, okay.
Color, you
Color.
gotta be tight. Hey,
The
you
reason
gotta
why
be
we're
how
not
do we
going to be
get
doing
Pat
it, hold
Mahomes?
on.
How do
The
we
only
get
way
Pat
we could
Mahomes?
say, the only reason we could see that Tua's going to be here next year is we'll find out in about 2-3 months if we sign his 5th-year option.
No, Von Joe, I'm talking about 2024. When we lose a
2024.
playoff game, when we lose a playoff game in 2023,
we not losing. What are you talking about, bro?
We got to give
Let
Tua
him finish, CB.
Let
Let him
It's hard to
finish,
lose a playoff game when you're not even going to sniff the playoffs.
Let him finish. He's trying to make a sad point.
first of all, we are not going to be talking about Tua in playoffs because chances are he's not going to be around for playoffs.
He will be out.
So
But
far,
I
what
got
he
a
showed us
question
is
for you
that
guys. Maybe
so far,
my
what he
mom's
showed us,
internet
he
got
won't be
better.
available.
Well, the
He
whole
won't be
team will be
available for
watching it
playoffs.
because we ain't
Is my
going
mom's
period to
internet better,
begin with.
CB?
Now we're not
So
going
how
because
about
Tua's
y'all
going to
go
be
ahead,
hurt.
Pete?
Oh Lord,
What I said
Tua,
right
get
We
us
ain't
to the
going because
playoffs.
even if he
It
started
even
all
worse.
17
You see it on
games,
his
we're going to
face.
get
He's like,
destroyed
no,
in every
Color,
game.
they're not doing that, Color.
I don't even know
No,
if you guys can hear me.
I ain't even hearing it,
Hey,
Color.
we can barely hear you. I told you to fix that antenna, bro. It's
You got to
crazy.
get some aluminum
So
foil
you
and
need
put
me
it
to
on
speak into the antenna?
Yeah, speak into it, bro. Speak into it.
Okay, perfect.
You got it? I can hear you
His
now.
gears are grinding. He's
Perfect.
like, you're talking about already another excuse built in. No,
All right. So
it's a 7-year plan.
I just want to get into this
Exactly. I don't
conversation,
want
right?
nobody
This is
criticizing
the
Ryan
only thing.
Tannehill no more
Look,
again.
I
Let
just
me
want to
ask you-
say this,
hold on,
fellas.
let me
I
ask
got
you-
one question, right?
Y'all
I
gave
just got
Tannehill
one
7
question.
years.
I just have one question. How many drops, from you guys' opinion, don't look at the PFF grades, how many drops were dropped on Sunday?
I
I
knew
think
this
it
was
was,
going to be a Skyler
I think it was
question.
11, right?
Maybe
11.
maybe there wasn't no 11 drops.
There was 11.
It was
CB.
11 drops.
There wasn't no 11 drops in that game, yo.
It was.
Let's go ahead.
No,
Listen,
that's-
I'll
hey,
give you.
let
Listen,
me-
Pete,
hey,
I will give you
if
11
you
for
watch
shits and
film,
Eight.
if
No,
you watch
I
film,
mean,
you
there
know
was
there
three.
wasn't
There was
11
three.
drops.
okay.
After the
Okay,
film,
so now here's
after
the
the film, it was three.
okay.
Waddle
Y'all
dropped
okay.
making up
by
stuff.
himself.
No matter what, here's the reality of it. Was it only 3 drops?
It doesn't. Why does it matter? Is it going to help your narrative?
Because you got, this is why it matters. You got guys like DDW running with it, being highly critical. No, I'm upset at I'm upset at DDW. He's over here saying that we only had 3 drops on Skylar Thompson's name.
But honestly, hey, look, DDW.
Here
we go. Right. He had
100%. It could go to beef overnight.
Here we go. Deadly
not that seriously, but I'm just saying what I'm trying to say. If y'all let me finish, right? Like DDW's out here saying PFF is out here with only 3 drops on Skylar Thompson, and he's up here giving little clips, and he's making himself look bad because I honestly believe he's wrong. And then now he's getting laughed at, and then we're all being laughed at as a community. We're all. Not one Dolphin fan will sit here and say
count 5
Skylar Thompson only had 3 drops. Nobody can say that.
Skylar Thompson had 3 drops.
Spot on, yo.
No.
After looking at Doug's breakdown,
A punch out is a pass breakup.
What are they saying?
Bro.
What are they saying?
That's a pass breakup.
What are they
I
saying?
don't want to hear that.
That's a BS excuse. There's a lot of people.
I have never
receivers with great hands that don't get a punch out.
Hey, it's the Tuaneers running with it because it's 3 drops on PFF, and it got me mad.
It was really 3 drops, though.
All right, time out. I have
Yeah,
never.
what
What
does that have to do with Tua? Payment for reports.
They're trying to.
Yo,
help
y'all,
their
hey,
narrative.
stop talking over Steven, bro.
Rashad, you're trying to
Hey,
help their
hey, hold
narrative.
up. I have never in my life had somebody come on the show and have beef with Dudley Do Wrong in his take ever.
Whoa. This is not the first time, Steven.
Oh, this is
Pete
the
has
first.
beef
Now,
with
let's be real, Pete.
leave my
Now, let's
man
be real.
alone.
Are you surprised by
Run it
that?
back.
It's Pete. Are you
No, I'm
surprised
not
by that,
surprised.
Steven?
I'm not surprised by a Tuaneer that will sit here and follow a
You should be
PFF
surprised
stat.
by your own actions,
This
Pete.
brother said
You should be
Skylar
surprised
only
by your own
had
actions,
3.
Pete.
He said 2 years are only saying Skylar had 3 drops.
It sounds like there's
It's only Tuaneers, and PFF is full of them.
I'm washing my hands.
Hey. So when you look,
Not
when
in
you
the
go back,
bathroom talking to us.
Hold on, Pete.
when you go back
Pete,
and look
a
at the
punch
film,
out
though,
is not a drop. You know that, right? A breakup
not
with
a
a
drop,
DB is not a
Pete.
drop.
Okay.
It's not a drop.
Again, in the entire game, you're only talking about that one punch out with Jalen Waddle, which he still should have caught. In all reality, you can bring that in. That's still a drop. Whether you want to like it or not, that is still a drop.
That is not a drop. That's not a drop.
That hit his hands first. That is not a pass deflection. A pass deflection.
First of all, there was multiple punches. There was multiple pass breakups.
You guys have to go to actual science to prove that it was a defended
We don't
pass.
care about
Really?
the science of it.
Use
We
your
know what a
freaking
pass
eyes.
is a drop.
You
We
can
know what a
see
drop
that
of
he
a pass
punched
is.
the ball out.
Yeah, and you can see
use your
real
glasses,
wide
genius.
receiver ones overcoming that and catching it.
Exactly. That's my point.
We don't
Real
want to hear
wide
that,
receiver
Color.
ones don't get it punched out.
Lewis.
Oh, so
Stop
this is about wide receiver
y'all
1,
Jalen
2s, and
Waddle's
3s now.
slander is
Now
like
he's a wide
ridiculous.
receiver.
Y'all are literally being
Hold
emotional.
up. Now, see, Steven, no,
Y'all being emotional as hell, bro.
Thank you.
Vonjo,
go ahead.
Slander about a 10% drop in your catch rate.
And you being emotional about people being emotional.
Slander is
Hey,
about
what about all the missed passes over the middle?
No, absolutely no.
What about all the misreads?
Swear jar, I know. But are we saying that real wide receiver ones don't get balls punched out?
Don't do it, Vonjo.
That's what I'm
Vonjo,
saying.
don't do it.
That's all I'm
Vonjo,
saying, bro.
don't do
Y'all
it.
not even being fair, bro.
Vonjo, don't do it.
Y'all watch everybody drop
Don't do it.
balls,
That's
bro.
what Color is
Wait,
saying.
wait.
That's why they
Wait,
want
wait,
to
wait,
trade
wait,
Waddle
wait.
now. They want
I'm
to trade Waddle.
gonna give you some sauce walkers. I'm
You know what? I'm
But
not going to let you
trying to
get
set
away
him
with
up
that
as a
lie,
number one when he's a
CB83.
number
You
two
know
in his
what?
offense.
That's why you want to trade
I'm not going to
Waddle.
let you get away with that lie because everybody knows what I said the past 2 days, and you're lying right now.
Y'all said
You're an
trade
absolute liar.
You said trade Waddle.
You're an absolute liar.
So you didn't say trade Waddle.
Keep lying.
Did you say trade Waddle?
Lying.
So you go run around and dance around the
You
question.
keep spreading your bullshit
Hey,
narrative.
here we go.
Lying.
Here we go.
We'll keep
Color getting
discrediting you.
upset. Here we go. Color
You have
getting
no
upset.
credibility, bro.
Did you say trade Waddle?
CB, let me tell you what he said. That's not the full context of what he said.
CB,
What did
no
he say?
let me tell you what he said.
None.
Let me tell you what he said.
He said
He
trade
said,
Waddle.
I got you, Color, I got
Thank
you,
you,
I
Dave.
got you. What he said was, why are you on the camera like that, bro?
Why not, bro? Why you worried about what I look like, bro?
County, just go
Mind
ahead.
your business, boy. Mind your
Bro,
business,
you look
boy.
weird, bro. Like, bro,
Ooh, dog, you sound weird. You sound weird, bro.
Anyway,
God,
Anyway,
go ahead.
anyway,
It's loud
what's
that
his name?
Wednesday. I can't stop it. Go ahead.
Nah, but what he said was,
Help this man with the trade Waddle talk. Please help him with the trade
CB,
Waddle
this is
talk.
what he said.
First of all,
CB,
before
listen,
you
this is
even
what he
go,
said.
Dade County, it's asinine. Whatever you give me, it's asinine. But
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
right, because you have
I'm
no
just-
credibility. That's
I know.
right.
Like I
That's
said,
why.
I'm just gonna tell
Hey,
you what
it
he
is
said
asinine
because you
to
weren't
approve
here for
your
what he
down
said.
credibility.
film, boy. Hey, I know. I can break down a film. I can break down a
It's
film.
wild now. Wednesday,
No, go ahead, Dade County.
We're all credible.
I can
Let
break
All of
Dade
us
down a
are
County
film.
go. Let
100%
Dade
credible
County
here.
go. Manny,
Hey,
hold
Let
on.
Dade
Let
County
you
go
put a
so
film
you
in
can
front of me, I
clarify
can break
this.
that
All
joint
right,
down.
CB, hold
brother.
up, CB. Hold up.
All right, you better
Dade
check
County.
him. Craigslist.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, ain't nothing got caught red-handed when my shit's on
Hey, go
tape.
ahead. You're not Dade,
Go
bro. You're
clip
not
it.
Dade, bro. You're not
Go
Dade,
clip
bro.
it. Go clip
Get out
it.
of here already.
Dade County. Go ahead.
No,
Please.
go ahead, Dade. Let
All
CB
right,
know
so
what's going on.
what Color did say was that if somebody offers you something that basically like you can't refuse, like somebody offers you 2 tools for Waddle, then you trade him. But
Why?
that's what he
Because
said. He didn't say that you
because he
actually.
dropped passes in the game.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to clarify.
Hey,
Look, y'all can argue that
catch
later.
rate
I'm just
where's
going
the
to understand what he
context?
said.
because his
If
catch rate
somebody
has
offers you
dropped
2
10%
twos,
since last
2 ones
year,
for a
and
Waddle,
we've got
you
tight
have to
ends
kind of listen.
that
You
have
have to listen.
20% higher catch rate than him.
So
That's
now
why.
because
You don't trade Waddle for two. You don't trade Waddle for 2 seconds. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I'm not saying
No,
2 1. I said
he
2
said
1.
two number two.
What I
we
said
trade
was, if you
1,000-yard
For 2
receiver
seconds,
because he had a
for
couple
2
drops.
like to
seconds,
get it from the
you won't get
source
not one
instead of
Waddle.
incredible ass CB83.
Well, we basically got a bunch of
Nobody
second
knows
round.
what
We
I
gave up
said.
a bunch of
It's
second round
2-1,
picks
bro.
for Tyreek.
Now
Okay,
it's 2-1.
Crypto.
Y'all just want to make
Crypto.
put
Let me
words
give it
in my
to you.
mouth and not hear it. I'll
Crypto.
tell you
Let me
what
give
the
it to
fuck
you.
I said. I'm sitting
I'm
right
not
here.
credible.
I gave up a bunch of
Hold
second for
I tried to
Tyreek.
help.
Hold up.
My
Wait
bad.
a
It was a
minute.
late
Wait
first
a
round
minute.
Looks
pick,
like I made shit
basically a
worse.
second.
Color, stop
Crypto.
Dade was
Hey,
close.
Crypto.
Dade had the essence of what I
Waddle
said.
had 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns with a
said
mediocre
was-
quarterback.
And Tyreek had more than that, and we still
right,
got him
this
for
is
With
why-
a,
less.
this is why Black
with a
look,
mediocre
Hey,
quarterback.
can we let Color
right here.
clarify on what he
Let
said?
them all
Because
have
he's
it.
saying what I
I'm an
said was
idiot.
wrong.
I'm a liar.
Let Color
I
clarify.
called for trading Waddle.
You said
That's
that,
flat.
not me.
Thank you, Stephen D. I appreciate your support.
Hey,
he's crying for your support now. He needs your support. He
Go
needs
ahead.
your support.
Hey, you're not credible. Hey, you're not credible, CB. You're not credible.
Vonjo, you gotta love this shit.
credible.
Vonjo, you gotta love this shit, boy.
CB,
Stop you wonder why nobody comes around this bullshit, and you wonder why I'm about to fucking leave.
Y'all see what the Jason Sanders did for franchise?
Because he was way
Them
over the
making those dumbass kicks against the Jets caused this nonsense. Because we would have cleaned house already.
Bring him some help. Lewis, get him some help. Come on, Lewis. Jump in. Tag in, Lewis. Come on, help him.
Go ahead, yup.
I blame Jason Sanders.
You said Trey Waddle yesterday too. So all y'all was
He's
talking
way over the
Trey
limit.
Waddle.
That's the only reason color left.
Hey, pull that tape. I want to hear that, CB83. Pull the tape.
Waddle, you was on there. You was
pull the
with him.
Listen, I'll trade Waddle for two first.
I didn't say
I'll
trade
trade for two first. I ain't gonna hold you.
Lewis, were there
was
guys
only saying if you get a bag and an overhaul for him.
Because he dropped balls.
That's all he was saying. If you get a more than a Larry Tunsil like overhaul, then you do it. That's the only reason Mike said it.
I'm saying it. I'm here saying it. If you give me two first, I'm trading Waddle.
Right. If you get a huge bag like the Larry Tunsil style, then you do it.
You're not getting that. He's not Jamar Chase.
That's not what they're saying.
I don't need Larry Tunsil.
Well, a lot of the league, man, he believes he's like Jamar Chase, so we can get that bag for him.
But he's not.
A lot of people believe and know he think he's better than Jamar, so we can get that.
When I bring up stuff y'all say, y'all go to backtracking real quick.
Well, we don't know that, Manny.
CB83, I'm just asking.
We do know that. He's a
general manager probably might not think that.
He's a body catcher, bro. He's not a hand catcher.
He is a body catcher.
Hey, CB83, just let me everybody on the panel a question, right? And it's well, let's keep it civil. It's just a simple question.
Let's run it.
Right?
Let's run
All right. Let's say there is a team, right? And this is what Color was saying, right? Because Color didn't say just trade Waddle for a bag of peanuts. But let's just say for the sake of argument, we're all up here so we can answer the question, right? If a team calls Miami and offers them the same package that we offered Kansas City for Tyreek Hill, a first, a second, a fourth, and I believe a fifth or so. I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, CB, do you make that trade?
That was not the context. That was not the context.
That was basically what he said.
Here we go. The context yesterday. Now, let me come back to
I'm gonna let
this.
you know now. CB.
Of course you trade him, but this is my thing. Here we go.
That's all I'm gonna go ahead and say.
That's all the Color was saying.
You gotta let CB83 explain how he took it.
I don't care about what Color said or not. I'm going off what Lewis just told me. I'm looking at Waddle in the face and say, "Hey, man, it's been nice."
CB, I don't know what Color said on the other platform, but what I will say is, based on how everybody's saying it, that was a fair observation by Color there, just to point out a what-if scenario.
Which is cool to point out a what-if scenario. But look, check this out.
Yeah, if you get a bag for him, a Larry Tunsil style bag, of course you do.
Here we go. It's unfair to talk trades when guys have one not even bad performance, but when he has a down performance and he drops maybe one, or honestly, Waddle had one. He had one drop. He had one drop Sunday, right? So because he had one drop, are we talking trade players because they had one drop? Is that really what the conversations we want to have?
If you were listening, he was talking about not one drop.
Actually, this
year. He's talking about on the year.
But
all right, so let's talk about on the year.
To be fair, on the year he had a case of the dropsies.
Exactly.
So what's a case of the dropsies? 10%.
He had 6 drops all season.
Is that
and add in the fumbles that cost us
in the regular season. One fumble.
And he had one fumble?
Yeah.
And that was a big crucial fumble that cost us the Minnesota
game. Yes,
he
did, Crypto. Yes.
Here we go. It's not fair to have these type of if you're a real football fan and you understand the game, it's not fair to have these.
I'm saying that. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Hold on.
To have these. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
You added that caveat.
I'm not done.
What are we talking about?
If you're fair, you understand the context.
Oh, you making a move as a general manager make you a real football fan or not?
You understand.
That's ridiculous.
You gotta listen to what he said.
Guys are going to miss plays. Like
no, I stopped him right there, Rashad, when he said, "Are you a real? If you're a real football fan?"
You know and you understand.
My opinion doesn't mean if I'm a real football fan or not.
You understand what he's saying. You understand what he's saying, Roger. Is what I'm saying.
To understand.
You understand that players drop balls, players fumble, players throw interceptions.
Some of these other people out here.
I understand players drop balls, but he had drop balls in big moments.
Right. You're not going to have conversations like this. Who's
Manny, you're breaking up, bud. Manny, go out and come back in, bud.
Come on.
What's wrong with saying sell high? What's wrong with saying sell high if you can get a bag? That's because that's what Color was saying.
But why are we selling high? We're trying to win.
That's all he was saying.
What are we selling high for when we're trying to win? Guys, this isn't about building for the future.
CB agree. CB
This
agrees.
isn't about building for the future.
If we were
Y'all are
trying to
arguing
win,
y'all are
if we was
arguing a
trying to
mute
win,
point.
we wouldn't be running it back.
Exactly.
So
we're trying to sell tickets.
Bro, but why are y'all taking run it back like they're actually
We're
gonna have
obviously
every
not trying to
single
win a
player?
Super Bowl. We're going to be mediocre.
That was a terrible.
How does that make? How does that
As far
make
as I'm
sense with
concerned, it
all the
sounded like they said they
injuries?
were gonna run it back with one player, but y'all making
Wait
it
a
seem like we're
minute.
gonna run it back with everybody.
That's the main
Wait a
player.
minute.
Though.
Let me ask you.
Like, why are we
Let me ask you a
overreacting,
question.
bro?
Be a part of
By the
that
way,
running
let
it back.
me
It
state
ain't
for
just
the
one
Let me
player.
state for the record.
Let me ask
When it
a
was
question.
initially proposed to run it back up here on the panel this morning, which by the way I'd never heard, by the way, because I mean I just
That's
haven't heard
Batman.
that
Batman.
yet.
Ran that one.
I'm telling you, when
on everything.
You're still like I was telling Mon Joe, like it just you're gonna have some new people to the roster. There will be some off-season moves.
Depth
Gonna
pieces.
happen. Little side.
You're gonna have depth.
But they're gonna happen.
Steven, to
Depth
your point, there will be new there will be new people, and there will be people coming back.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
100%.
why do we have to be the? Why do we have? I'm not gonna say we. Why do y'all have to be those people, bro?
No.
It's just you overreacting, bro.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
DJ Khaled voice on and say,
Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all are talking about replacing one player.
But
so if we replace one player, is that still not running it back?
No, I'm not. Listen. I'm done talking to.
Is that a whole new team?
Pretty much.
So if I put Aaron Rodgers in Tua's place, is that a new team? Are we not running it back?
No, that's a new team.
No, that's a new coaching change.
Okay,
That's a new change
all
at the top.
So I replace.
That's like changing the CEO of a corporation.
So I replace Cater with Byron Jones. Is that a new
that's
team?
not the most important position in the sport.
I don't give
This is such a weak
That's
argument.
not the most.
Is this a new team?
QB position is
Is
like
this a new
CEO of a
team?
corporation.
Is this a new team?
This is a very weak argument.
Is this a new team?
Exactly.
Is this a new team? Yes or no? Is this a new team? Do we have a better?
Rashad, let me help you out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Keep helping me out. Yo, I see y'all didn't answer the question. I see y'all didn't answer the question. I see y'all didn't answer the question.
We did.
I don't care about the face of the franchise, Von Joe. Was Nick Foles the face of the franchise? Was Nick Foles the face of the franchise? No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
ESPN,
no, he wasn't.
When Nick Foles was cooking?
No, he was not.
Nick Foles was.
No, he didn't carry nobody. He didn't carry nobody. That defense,
he had a hell of a playoff run. What are you talking about?
Bro, what are y'all
defense
talking
in that
about?
run game carried that. Come on, bro.
When he made that
Mike
run,
Nick
didn't
Foles
have
was the
a
face of the
Tom Brady had over
franchise.
400 yards. What are you talking about?
Nick Foles was on ESPN.
He was not the face of the franchise. What was the question?
Yes, he was. That's what he got.
The point is he carried the Eagles through the playoffs. That's the point.
He didn't carry nothing.
Went on that run. When he was
What
on that
defense
run,
carried that team?
No, look at his numbers.
Got the
Defense,
I don't give a
defense
fuck
gave
about
up
no numbers.
500 yards to the Patriots. What are you talking about?
Hold on, crypto. You don't even have to go through all that. How Nick Foles got the bag then? They just paid him just to pay him?
He got the bag before he went to. Come on, bro. He was a backup in Philly.
You talking about their defense? Their defense was horrible in that Super Bowl.
And he got traded
in
to
the
be
Super Bowl. You said through the playoffs, dog. Don't switch it up. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's a championship in the playoffs.
In the main game, when it mattered, they defense crapped the bed, and Nick Foles carried them.
If you want to act like Nick Foles was on ESPN, on the face of ESPN, left and right,
LeGarrette Blount,
you can go ahead and do that.
Once again, in the main game, an important game of the season, the Super Bowl,
bro,
Nick Foles was the reason why they won.
And who carried us to the loss on Sunday? Yo, guy.
What they got to do with it?
Because I'm tired. I'm gonna just set you up with that.
Yeah, why
our
you
guy,
doing like that?
Rashad, our guy.
That's
our
guy. He bad.
Bonjo, you right. That is our guy.
He's our guy. Remember, he's
sadly he is. Sadly, he is our guy.
It's Skyler time. Skyler time. Hey, it was Skyler time. It was Skyler time. It was short
time.
These simpletons go back and forth for 2 weeks. Whoa, we put Skyler and give Skyler all the reps. Oh, it's the coach's fault.
Hey, now we're back to Tua time. Hey, 8 and 9, feeling fine. Hey, Tua time. Hey, mediocre, feeling fine. Hey.
Hey man,
there you go, Steven. You got your new
what y'all
sound
gotta
clip.
do? Hey, y'all gotta stop this, man. Honestly,
William.
If the organization decides to run it back with Tua, they decide to run it back with Tua.
Everybody be quiet. The coolest person on the panel. The coolest person on the panel has just arrived. William.
Don't make me cuss.
William Perry.
Don't make me cuss.
That's cap.
Don't make me cuss,
That's
Steven.
cap.
That's
Look
not
at this.
cap.
That's
Look how beautiful it
all
is.
you guys.
Look how
Every last
beautiful
one
a
of you
day
guys.
it is out, guys. Look at it. Look at this. We got these
Opening
beaches
drive.
going on. How's everybody doing today? Y'all seem like y'all yelling at each other. Why are y'all yelling at each other?
There's so much hate and negativity up here, William. It's so toxic on my show today.
I know. Y'all are mean.
Hey, William, I got
Bunch
a
of
quick
meanies.
question. Quick
Yes,
question,
sir.
William.
Yes, sir.
Did you before you got on the panel, were you eating Lucky Charms?
No.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded when you first came in, you were gonna start chasing rainbows and licking ice cream cones. That's what it sounded like when you came up.
Hey, yo.
I'm just
now.
saying. I'm just saying.
In my defense, I had a sausage biscuit this morning. So,
Hey, yo.
Kind of the same
Hey,
thing.
if you had
Kind of the same
sausage
thing.
and biscuits, whoa.
You know what I mean?
That's wild. That's a wild take.
William Perry, see, he not crying. He enjoying life.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, can I
if enjoying life is stuffing your mouth with sausages, hey.
Can I run some stuff up the flagpole to y'all real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna go through three things really, really fast. I don't mind. I like Tua coming back next year because it'll be his second year in the system. I'm not too concerned about the concussion part of it because the first one was so egregious that I don't know if y'all know much about fighting, but whenever you get a concussion like that, you're usually out for like 9 months before you can. It's 90 days before you can even have like full contact. But like for something like getting knocked out like that, that's like almost 6 months suspension, right? But you can like where you can't take a fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a cascading effect from that Cincinnati concussion. The good thing about Tua this year, he had no actual physical injuries, no huge bumps and bruises, no broken ribs, no broken fingers or anything like that.
He had a bad. Nope. He said he had a bad back.
Yeah, and he also
he said he hurt his back, but he also turned around and beat Buffalo that game. So like I don't understand that argument.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Lewis, stop! Let me go all the way.
Stop it, Lewis.
And he missed games afterwards.
Lewis, get on camera and do it, Lewis.
I can't. My camera's not working, Steven, but you were in the building.
See, there you go, running from the smoke, Lewis. Typical Lewis, running from the smoke.
You know I don't run from no damn smoke. You know that.
Got the name.
You know that.
Lewis running from the smoke like he always do, bruh.
Hey, stay in my spot.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna give it.
Why y'all act like y'all don't know Lewis got a Tua jersey?
But
Lewis got a Tua jersey.
Lewis, can you have a Tua jersey, Lewis?
Lewis got a Tua jersey.
I do. That bitch been in the closet since we drafted him.
That's a damn lie. I saw you wearing it a couple weeks ago.
Hold on. So
secondly,
hold on, William. Let me touch on your first point. I will give you the injury that, hey, concussion. I'm not worried about concussion, tell you the truth. Hey, I'm worried about the next injury. ACL, or MCL, or LCL, a shoulder, Tommy John.
I mean, we're going to have to worry about what it is. Every player on the team.
No. Tua always finds a new injury. That's the thing. That's what being
LCL, ACL, MCL, PCL, ACL.
I'm just saying the first concussion was so egregious. I was expecting the second one coming back. I just knew it was coming. It was just. I just know by the way. That's the way it ends up. You know what I'm saying? That's the way. Point. And then I mean, you could just go look at Tony Ferguson, for example. He took that next fight and he just kept getting knocked out. And it's just one of those things. And that's not near as aggressive as football, like being punched in the face constantly. Second, I like the stuff that Skyler showed. He does have an arm. He doesn't have the anticipatory skill set for the system yet. I think it can be developed over through the training camp.
Spell my name right, clown.
And then
William, you're making some fantastic points. Keep going, bro. You're making
Bro,
fantastic.
Lewis, why you let people in the
I
comments
think-
bother you?
I really think
Williams out here. The ice cream cone's almost done. Don't worry, he's almost done licking that ice cream cone. Don't worry about
I really think if we're talking about backups, we should bring in a third one. But I don't think it should be like past Sam Darnold or Gardner or something like that. Tom Brady's not coming here. Aaron Rodgers is not coming here. Lamar Jackson's not coming here. We don't want Lamar Jackson.
Hey,
anyway.
how do you know that?
You draft a quarterback to
Where's
compete.
your from? Where's your source?
You draft a quarterback to compete with
Say
Skyler.
you don't want Lamar Jackson. Don't say we. Don't speak in we. Don't speak in plural.
I don't want
Speak
Lamar.
in French.
I mean,
You're speaking in French.
I'll take Aaron
I'm not
Rodgers.
talking about we the fans. I'm talking about we the Miami Dolphins do not want
You don't
Lamar
know that.
Jackson because he will be
You
hurt.
don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Who died and made you the spokesperson of the
Hold on,
Dolphins?
time out. If you want to say
Because
we the
I'm
Miami
William
Dolphins,
Perry.
actually,
Who died and made you the spokesperson?
William, you're arguing with mute points.
wanted to
You
draft
don't.
Lamar Jackson for your information.
Miami Dolphin
So if
fans
you
don't
wanna
know how to
tell them you
talk when
don't
they're
want
angry,
him,
William. Don't worry about it.
The owner who owns the team,
They feel offended.
who is the Miami
They-
Dolphins,
They feel
actually
attacked
wanted to
personally.
draft him.
Well, Vonjo, that's a pipe dream that we're all going to have. We don't,
Hold up real quick. Stop the presses real quick. Hold up. I need to address Estefan. Esther, it has come to my attention, sir, that you have lost a bet and you have to wear a dress.
Ooh,
I have
wear
heard
your
this.
dress.
Estefan.
Wear your dress, Esther. Wear your
Estefan,
dress.
you need to come up. There's room in the back. You need to come up in the dress. You lost
where
the
did
bet.
you hit? No, put a name on it, Steven.
What?
Put a name on it. Who
is this bet? This man.
There was a
lost
bet
the
on my
wear a
show
dress.
between him and Pete, I think. I think it was Pete.
Not Pete.
Who was it? It was, I forget who it was, but whoever it was, the bet was the lose. It was Robert. It was Robert.
It was Robert.
It was Robert and him. And the lose and the bet was, does Tua get benched this year? And Tua didn't get benched. Tua was hurt the entire year.
He was benched, Steve.
He was not
confirmed
benched.
that he wasn't benched after Green Bay game?
Actually,
That's still up in the air.
You're running from it, Esther. We said caveat.
Esther, put on your dress, boy.
Let me address it.
No, sir. No, sir, Estefan. You know you lost. Everybody confirmed up here that you lost, Esther.
No, I didn't confirm that.
No.
And don't worry,
We don't know whether or not he was benched or not. It was
Are
never
you welching on a
confirmed.
bet too? Color says you welching on a bet
Here we
too.
go. Hey, my bet. Here we, hey, you wanna hear my bet?
It was never confirmed.
The bet. Here we go. The bet is that if Tua is the starting quarterback next year, he owes me $100. If he is not the starting quarterback next year, I owe him $100. That's how that works.
Okay.
That's the
All
bet.
All right.
Hold on. Let me go back.
You said if he's not the guy.
That's a lie.
That's cat.
Receipts out there.
Let me go back to the Skyler thing. I think.
Hold on, William. Hold on, real quick, bud. All right, so I don't know what's going on between Fins and Color with that bet, but I would like some more clarity on that for the future. What I will say, Estefan, sir, is the deal was that if he gets injured, that still doesn't count towards him being benched. You said that on the show, Esther. You said that on the show, and we said injuries do not count.
Ooh,
You
somebody
said
lying.
that.
Somebody lying on that.
I would say he lost that bet. He didn't get benched, but he did get injured for a lot of key
don't
games.
worry about it. Don't worry about it, Esther. You can wear one of CB83's dresses. Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
my goodness, stop it.
We got many dresses. Don't worry. You can have one of CB83.
You can have one of these. They don't fit you, but you can have one of these. They don't fit you, but you can have one of these, bro.
Joe would say.
They don't fit you, but you can have one of these, bro. They don't fit you.
How much does it go to the square jar?
You can't feel
like
like
$12 or
Esther,
$13
you
to the
can't
square
feel
jar.
that joint out at all, Esther. You can't feel
$12.
that joint
Let's
out.
say $12.
Hey, Lewis,
CB83.
Lewis,
I let him
you
go
can't
over the
faze
5.
me, bro.
Hey,
You
went way over.
can't faze me with your
I
little
know, but
terrible, with your little
that's
corny
fine.
ass jokes.
Hey,
Get
that's
out of
fine.
here, bro.
That's fine. I bet your belly button.
CB, you have $4, CB.
I bet y'all won't just line that shit up.
Hey,
Hey,
I got you
CB,
on the
I bet y'all won't just line that shit up.
Hey,
Click,
click,
clack.
clack, bang.
Hey,
You know what these? Hey, click, clack, bang.
Line that shit up.
Click, clack, bang.
Yeah.
Hey, TFTG, line it up. You can bring your little
okay.
squad up here. I told you,
Okay.
meet me at the park. I put a stack on it. We got another
I
bet.
want to see you hamburger grill.
Hey, Stephen
You
D,
ain't
we
at
got
no
another
park.
bet.
You ain't outside.
I want to see some hamburger drills. What's up?
Talking about that
We got
BS.
another bet. We got another bet. $1,000. El Capitan, come line it up. Helmet, shoulder pads. Get in Oklahoma drill and let's go.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a net measuring bet.
Hold on, let me bring color back real quick. Hold on, I need to take somebody out of here.
I'll go for listen. You could go ahead and take me out.
Where's Andrevius?
All right, Bonjo, I'm gonna take you out, Bon. All right. Color. Your swear jar is paid in full.
Thank you, Caslin. Caslin understands the righteous cause. First of all, I want to clarify what I actually said, since CB83 not only wants to put words into my mouth, but now he wants to put context in my mouth too, when he don't even watch my show.
I do watch a show. I was there yesterday. I told you I was commenting.
Then you must not understand English then, bro.
I do.
Because I clearly said that I was not calling to proactively trade Waddle. I was not calling to shop Waddle.
You were saying
I clearly said, based on his drop off this entire year.
His drop off. He had a better year than he's ever had.
Can I finish?
Hey, CB, let him finish. Just let him finish.
He's had a better year than he's ever had.
Where is the drop off? No. You better rephrase that. Ain't no drop off.
Hold on.
What do you mean by drop off?
All right.
It wasn't a drop.
Hold on. All right, here's what I'm going to do.
My sister's kids, man.
Hold on. Color's going to explain. If there's any follow-up questions to Color's explanation, you then may ask when Color's finished. Let Color cook. Go ahead, Color.
I said, based on his drop-off this year, well, y'all don't deserve it.
I muted Rashad. Go ahead.
Y'all don't deserve to hear my words.
I muted him.
I no longer deserve to hear my words.
I just muted Rashad.
No, go ahead.
Say whatever you want, because apparently, according to all you, I say whatever the fuck you want me to say.
Go ahead. I just muted CB and Rashad. Cook.
Based on the reaction I've got from my statement, it is obvious to me that 90% of the people in this league-wide, are convinced that Waddle is a wide receiver one. I am not convinced of that. So if somebody comes to me, I think he's a great receiver. I think he can correct the problems we saw this year. I think he can be back to wide receiver one status in my mind. Okay? But if one of those 90% of the people out there who were shocked by my take come and tell me I'm going to give you wide receiver one bag for him, I'm taking it. And I don't think that we should be worried about the fact that it's Jalen Waddle, because if he can get better, that's fine. I'd rather not be the one to take that risk. That's all I said.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
CB,
wow.
CB, go ahead, CB. Retort.
I also conceded to Dade County.
Are you done?
And I was being a little hyperbolic, and then wide receiver 3 was a little extreme. So I conceded that he's a wide receiver 2 level on the NFL stage.
Okay, so you hear, so Stephen, do you hear the context that he was talking? He was a wide receiver.
Right now, I just heard the full explanation of Color, and I think I have no problem with what he said.
Okay, now when you say, hey, he's a wide receiver 3 because he had drops and he had a down year.
That's not why I said he's wide receiver 3. See, you want to just flippantly, nonchalantly, say, oh, yeah, because of one game. I know. Everybody says it, bro. You're coming at me with everything everybody's already come at me with.
All right, Color. He's trying to interpret what you said. After he finishes interpretation, if he's then wrong, correct him. Go ahead,
Steve. Giving Color a read back. This is giving Color a read back. My interpretation of what he just said is that he felt that that Waddle was a wide receiver 3, but after the people talked to him about it, he felt he was a wide receiver 2. And he felt that he took a step back this year and that he had too many drops. And that's why you entertain trading him for the so-called bag, right? Am I right, Color?
No, you're not right.
All right, where's he wrong, Color?
You're almost there, but you're not right.
All right, where is he wrong?
Where he's wrong is, first of all, that it's all about a couple drops this year. Okay. It's not just about drops. It's the fact that, what was the word that was used? He panics, or he body catches, or one of the other 5 different deficiencies they listed to me. I'm sorry, a wide receiver 1 might have 1 deficiency in his game. 1 at the most, if that.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Justin Jefferson panics?
No.
That's because Justin Jefferson is a wide receiver 1.
Okay. CB, is there any other clarify? Are we on the same page now?
Yeah, but this is my thing. And this is where there's a big disconnect in the Dolphins community, is that you have guys like Color who will get up on panels and say stuff like this. And you have people who kind of will believe this as well. And honestly,
bro, you act like
I'm saying, I'm not saying. Can I finish? Can I finish?
What am I, like some kind of like Jim Jones or something?
So, no,
hey, look,
Color. I just feel like it's irresponsible for you to say trade a player because he has drops, but he also, and on the other hand,
irresponsible to whom?
He has
irresponsible to whom?
He has 1,300.
I want an answer to that question. Irresponsible to whom?
To Dolphin fans, to the Dolphins.
So you're saying Dolphins fans are
you mean the ones that just called me a cunt? Are you talking about the ones that just called me a cunt?
Hold on, Color.
I have no responsibility to them.
Hold on, Color. To be fair to Color, okay? We say a lot of stuff every day, every time we open up our mic, CB. Okay.
And how many times have you been called a cunt?
And I'm not even getting into all that.
But it doesn't bother me.
What I'm saying is, CB, is when you make a statement, whether it's trade somebody or bench somebody or start somebody or somebody needs to retire, I don't think that's a responsibility of the host or the person forming that opinion. Look, everybody goes to everybody's channels for different reasons, right? CB,
right.
People go to you for yours. People go to Finn's Tailgate. People go to Dudley. People go to TD for whatever reason. No pun intended. For whatever reason, they go to them for. Now, with that being said, it's on the consumer, the listener, to interpret what they're saying. If that's Color's point of view, then so be it. You don't got to agree with it,
and that's fine. And what I'm saying is, look,
you'll get guys like Pete running with shit like that, and that's what he's talking about. Oh my God, dry me a river.
Can I finish?
All right,
everybody, freaking build your bunker. Color said to trade Waddle.
But Color,
fuck over yourselves, man.
It's a pretty bad Color. It's a pretty bad
Color. Over yourselves.
It's really not that deep.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL this year. I think it's irresponsible to even have conversations like that. I think it is. I think he was one of. And there's no way. Look. There's no way the Miami.
I don't have a responsibility to you.
You don't at all. But here we go. No, there's no way the Dolphins organizations is even taking calls for Jalen.
Then you're a fool to think that.
I agree with CB. I agree with CB on that. The Dolphins aren't taking calls for Jalen.
And if it's not happening, why are we having conversations?
Hey, real
what
talk.
Did Chris Greer say in the press conference? What did Chris Greer say in the press conference?
He is a top 10 wide receiver on a rookie contract.
What did Chris Greer say in the press conference?
Why would you ever trade?
What did Chris Greer say in the press conference
on a rookie contract? He didn't say anything about trailing Jalen Waddle. So please don't say he said that.
Everything's on the table.
That's not his point.
He said
they don't care what my point is, Crypto. They care about catching me in a tape that allows them to call me the C word. That's what they care about, because your show is toxic. And everybody in your chat is toxic.
Okay, Color. All right. I don't know if anybody up here said that to you. And if they did, I don't think they did. Anybody up here?
I told you to pull up the comment when it happened.
I didn't see it.
Bro, we're not looking at the comments. We don't care about comments.
Only when they suit your needs.
We don't care about comments.
People talking
why do you keep highlighting them? If you don't care about the comments, then why do you keep highlighting them?
We're not highlighting nothing. I'm not highlighting.
He's been highlighting comments all day.
Real talk. People have called me out everything under the sun in the chat. Okay. I use the chat as needed to provide bravado or whatever for my show. Now, with that being said, Color,
I said, oh my God, we should entertain a phone call.
You out like that. All right. We're fair. We're all on the same page here. All right.
I
good.
guess.
Now, with that being said, Color, the point is of CB's take, which I agree with him on this particular take. No, Dolphins aren't picking up a phone call for anything. And if you're going to sit there and say, if he said that everything's on the table, then why come out and say that Tua's the guy next year if everything's on the table? You're contradicting yourself.
Did he come out and say Waddle's the guy next year?
Are you on mute? I think you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Hello.
I can hear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear him.
Color.
I can hear.
I hear him. I hear him.
You're the one that's not here.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We can hear you, but I don't
can't
think
hear
you can
us.
Nobody's talking.
Everybody's
We're all
talking.
talking.
Everybody's talking. Your mic is messed up. We hear you.
Do you hear us now?
No.
Check, mic check.
All right, there we go. That's me. I hit a button.
All right.
I hit a button. That's not me. I'm like, I can't hear nothing. Okay. Go ahead.
So that's fine that you think that, but he didn't say you made it about Tua for some reason. Chris Greer didn't say Waddle's the guy next year, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't say that.
So why would they not field a phone call for wide receiver 1 bag when they know he's a wide receiver 2?
Because he's
not a wide receiver 2.
That is your opinion that he's a wide receiver 2.
And how could it not be theirs?
In this offense, he technically is a wide receiver.
Think about it for a second.
But he's a wide receiver 1 playing wide receiver 2.
A wide receiver
could they not possibly
on a rookie contract?
Why is it extreme that they couldn't be thinking the same thing? Right, a rookie contract. And if somebody's going to come give you wide receiver bag for that, take it.
I'll say this. I don't believe anybody's offering that to us. I don't believe
even say anything about whether I believe they were or not. That's where y'all get me wrong.
Only thing I'll add to this is I just believe his production outweighs any of the negatives.
You're the ones being irresponsible.
I wouldn't trade.
With my words.
That's a great
just
take.
basically say, and there's a lot of stuff that CB says that I don't agree with. I've called him out on it.
Bro, when you attack me for my words,
nobody's attacking you.
Hey, quit playing victim. Hey, what you're not gonna do is play the victim right now.
In my mouth, like
he's not talking about us up here. He's talking about people in the comments.
Clarify it. Everybody starts attacking me with words like cunt.
When you say dumb stuff, you get dumb stuff take. That happens. The people don't cry about it. Just try not to say dumb stuff as much. That's what happens.
Just shut up, bro. Just shut up.
Leave, bro.
You welching bastard. You welching bastard. You pay me my money.
What's up with this? There's two things. First of all, I want to say, where did this bet take place?
Funny.
Where did the bet
probably
take place?
on your show.
I don't believe that it did. I don't believe
tailgate.
Okay, that didn't happen on my show.
You don't even know where the bet took place.
You just imagine what Color says.
The bet didn't take place on my show. Y'all go deal with that at the Finn's tailgate. Now, the Estefan bet did take place on my show, and Estefan better get up here and talk, and he needs to speak for his actions or his non-action.
Have my money.
Yeah, I got
y'all
you.
Y'all deal with that on Finn. That didn't happen on my show.
Hey, but hey, guys, it is what it is.
It was actually, I don't understand.
If somebody can show me where it did, I'll read.
It was the Fence tailgate. I know the bet. You see, I know what's going on with the bet.
Everybody here agrees with me. We know what the bet was. The bet was that he would be the end of the that he would be quote unquote the guy.
What was the bet, Color?
The bet was that he would be quote unquote the guy by the end of the season, that we would know he's the guy. And CB83 has already publicly admitted that he is off of Tua. That is concession of that bet. Pay me my money.
That's not it. But good try.
That was
really good try, though. That was a good effort.
You conceded that he's not your guy. How is that not concession of the bet?
The organization determines who the guy is. I don't determine shit.
Swear jar.
I don't determine that. I'm $5. I'm up to that. Hey, I don't determine anything.
Then you gotta go. You gotta go for until somebody pays that. You're at $5. I can't allow you the wherewithal because you have a show to get away with the $5. You're at $5. You pay it, or somebody pays your $5. You can come back, CB83. You're not safe. You're not special. You're not special.
Well, in defense of CB83, it does It is on the organization because we can all not like Tua, and the organization says he's the guy. He's the guy. He's not CB's guy.
No, that's not.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. That's not CB83's guy, but he's the guy. That's two different things.
Was not the context.
That was not the context of the
You just said it. No. Color. I'm going off of
Cruz brought him back. All right, hold on.
No way I would have made a bet that required me to wait a whole entire another offseason. That was not the context.
Hey, Cruz, my guy.
I didn't say that either, Color. I didn't say. I'm going off of what you just.
Batman, what's up with you?
I got you, bro. I got you. But it was the bet was whether we would agree that Tua is the guy.
How do we agree? How do we agree if he's
not the guy?
That's not what you just said, but okay.
That is what he just said.
No, it wasn't.
That's what was inferred. That is what he just said.
Terrible stuff he's talking about, bro.
Can everybody
How
hear
do we
me?
determine? The organization determines if he's the guy or not. They're the only one.
We have a comprehension problem.
But why would you make a bet that is just outcome based on the freaking
because we
organization?
I'm with crypto on this. To me, that bet is hard because it's an interpreration of.
It was whether we both agree that he's the guy or not.
Exactly, Steven. That's what it meant.
He's not the guy.
It's common sense to know what Color's talking about.
I'll tell you right now, Color. I'm almost 100% sure that the bet did not happen on my show, because if a bet does happen on my show, I say A, Steven gets a cut of it, and B, I also say, hey, look, it's got to be, you got to have black and white. Nothing can be gray. And Moneyback 21 said, "Get out of here, CB83."
And I will also say, Color, if that's the bet,
take CB out with his stupid takes. See, Moneyback 21.
Cut to
Go ahead, Rashad. What was it?
If that was the bet that you're thinking of, they could the team could cut Tua, and that could still be CB's guy at the end of the day. So that's why I'm saying,
right. But we put in that caveat. We put in that caveat
that if he's, what was the caveat? If he's not the starting quarterback,
that's why we eliminated those caveats by saying.
Dade County, I'm
gonna bring agreement between us that he was the guy or not.
Steven, hold on, Rashad. Steven, hold on. F all that. Listen, I am tired.
We didn't put it in the hands of the organization for that very reason, Rashad.
My point is, all CB83 had to do at the end of the day, if that's what you're going with, he could say, till the end of time, Tua was the guy.
That's right. That's why I caught it. That's why I caught him, because he conceded publicly that he wasn't, and he wants to backtrack on that.
Exactly.
Lewis, stop coming in here now.
What you did, Rashad. Hold on. I got to answer what Rashad just said. Rashad, CB83 thinks he's as smart as you are. But he just realized what you just realized, that he could have kept me on the hook for the rest of the time, but he didn't. He publicly said that Tua was not the guy.
I kind of okay. I hear you. That's kind of a bet. So y'all gonna have to find that one, because I find it hard to believe that y'all made a bet on. If you say he's not the guy, I win a bet. Like that's
no, it was an agreement. He already knew.
That's what
he'll be back in 8 minutes. He'll be back in 8 minutes.
But no, he's not the guy. Would have meant he's not the guy.
We didn't have to wait for me to find out.
That was based on
83 back.
Okay, hold on. Some sort of integrity.
Hold on. Let me finish. To Rashad. Let me finish to Rashad. We already knew that I was off of him. We weren't waiting on my confirmation. We were waiting on CB83's confirmation. And he gave it.
Hold on, Stephen D. Put God's soldier. Put God's soldier is coming up, Stephen D.
Hold on, real quick. Lewis, I just want to deal with this bet situation real quick, because I've heard it on Spaces,
and he did.
I've heard it on multiple platforms.
And he did say that.
Hold on. Yes, he did, but at the same time, it's the logistics is what the bet was. There's a whole entire receipt, a digital receipt about this bet. We could just pull up, clip, and just show, and just deal with it.
Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it 31.
It's not my responsibility to prove a negative.
Hold on. If it's
Somebody has to do the dirty work, Ronjo. That's the problem.
Hold on,
It's not my responsibility to prove a negative.
If it's not that important to pull it up, after bet.
Right. Whoever wants the money,
bringing it up.
Look up the receipts.
Good point, Batman.
Yeah.
I like how Color says,
it's going to be
how
a lot
can
of
we
work
prove
to find
a
that,
negative? You can't prove a negative.
Look what I'm saying. It is on.
It is
online.
recorded that he said
It
if he
is
don't play the Bills game,
Isn't the burden
he's
of
not the
proof
guy.
on the state to provide that? Huh?
Burden of proof is on the claimant. On the claim.
Thank you, William. Thank you. I'd like William to be my lawyer.
Well, in this situation, it seems like both of them are claiming.
Whoever wants the money
Both of them are plaintiffs.
go prove it, damn it.
Well, they're suing
That's
each
why
other.
Defendants and plaintiffs, so they
Fair
both.
enough. Fair enough. William Perry's fair enough. He's right. He's right. I'm making a claim about the bet. I need to prove it. You're right.
He's got to prove that.
There we are.
Guess what? I've done a lot harder work for $100, CB83. So have my money ready.
All right, there we go. So
you don't go there,
Steven, it's been solved that Color's gonna prove it, and then somebody's gonna have to pay.
And then we'll go from there. And wherever the bet was, that's where it needs to be proven at. Okay.
Exactly. So we'll leave it there.
That might
I
happen.
to pay me my bet. My
See, here's the thing.
Well, the whole thing about Buffalo was the whole context about him not paying in the Buffalo game.
Listen, crypto. It's done. It's done.
It's done. It's over.
What about my jersey now for me?
Is we finished or is we done? Man.
What?
Let me hit the reset.
What do you mean, jersey?
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show.
CLOCKBLOCKERS.
Right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Flip Floppers. Cat Blockers. Go ahead, Lewis. I saw you unmute yourself. You were about to say something about capping.
And CB83 needs to hire William for his brains.
Cat Blockers! All right, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. If you want to donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Full bans are in full effect. 10-minute timeouts, day bans, month bans, week bans, you name it. Double to bring the person back. Right now, we got one person in timeout. That is Mr. CB83, and he's got 4 or 5 minutes left, so he'll be back in a few. Anybody at any time can pay double to bring the person back at any point in time. Swear jars are in full effect. And so go ahead. Whoever's next. I don't care. Go.
No, I didn't say we should trade Waddle.
Yeah, go ahead, William. Go ahead.
I don't think that was the right context either. I think I understand exactly what Colin was saying about that. But let's get back to the real discussions of the real Miami Dolphins team, what it's going to look like and shape out next year.
Mediocre. All right, so
I like
no different from the past 35 years.
I like what I saw with Skyler, and I think he can develop very, very well. I think he can develop into a #1 with his arm talent, but he's just got to get the anticipation. He's got the body for the position as well. I think I still believe that we still need a third quarterback, right? And that's
we might as well talk about Jay Fiedler since he's the last person that won a playoff game for us.
Maybe.
So we were talking about the quarterback options yesterday, right? And and I've been, we were looking at the quarterback options on Monday. It's when we talk about guys like Heineke, there's gonna be a team out there that's gonna pay serious money for them. That's the thing, starting quarterback money, and you can't compete with that. So somebody brought up a point yesterday on Twitter, and again, this is not a sexy name. It's not a name nobody wants to hear. But I like the idea of Skyler being #2. And if you want to roll with 3, you bring in Andy Dalton for $2-3 million. Just to be just in case.
I like that too.
Because Andy Dalton's just begging to get paid $2 or $3 million to take a hit. Yeah, sure.
Did he take $7 million at the Cowboys?
He's not going to sit behind nobody that's injury prone.
Not 10, as long as it don't have $10 million in it.
Kenny just looked unenthused the whole season. Like he didn't look excited to play the position. He didn't look excited to play for the team. It just, we know he's a Miami dude, but he just didn't look like he wanted to be there.
That's true.
I just didn't like the body language. You know what I'm saying? I think we still. I like Andy Dalton, or even if I don't care. What are they going to do with Jameis Winston?
Y'all not good. Y'all not good with just running it back with Skylar as the backup. I mean,
Can I answer that? Let me answer that. So Skylar, here's my issue with Skylar. Skylar, I think, has improved every time he's touched the field. Skylar, I think I want on the roster, but if and when, Tua does go down, do I want Skylar filling in for 3 or 4 games? I don't know if I'm quite there yet.
After a full training
I got a rebuttal for you.
After a full training camp where he is the designated QB2.
I just don't think it'd be smart to wait.
Hold on. Let me cook. I think Color's point is fair with it, but we saw what happened. He had a great training camp in preseason this year
with no reps.
And hold on, he had a great training camp in preseason this year, and then he was able to whatchamacallit, and obviously when he came in, he threw 2 touchdowns the entire year. But every game he got in, you saw improvement. So I think the same thing in the preseason next year. I think Skylar should get a majority of the snaps in preseason next year. Give him as many reps.
Give him all of them. Give him all of them.
Give him as many reps as you want.
Okay? God knows Tua can't benefit from any of those.
Exactly. We know what Tua's ceiling is, or we know what his floor ceiling is at the end of the day. We just want him to be healthy.
Steven, this is what I was saying. So that quarterback.
Real quick, let me just wrap up by saying, I just want an insurance policy. And so that's why I'm good with having 3 quarterbacks on the roster. What I don't want, for the record, is $10 million to be paid to any freaking.
It would be more. It would be more.
Why are we having a conversation?
Why do we need Skylar should be the
instead of paying somebody
backup? I don't think that team can afford to lose
Exactly, Lewis. That's the real elephant in the room. Why do we need insurance policy?
The $10 million we paid Teddy
Trevor Lawrence played 17 games this year.
Instead of paying $10 million or $15 million for a backup quarterback, you might as well invest that in as a right tackle. You can go get that right tackle.
Why do we need 3 people on the roster?
Right?
I want you guys to realize that $10 million is bottom of the barrel for a quarterback.
Why do we need 3?
See, Crypto, me and you don't always disagree. Look, me and you agree on that shit. We don't need 3 quarterbacks on this roster.
Yeah, name the quarterback that's going to take less than
$10 million. You don't need 3 quarterbacks on the roster, bro. That's a waste.
Name the quarterback that's going to take
especially this season, knowing what we got in Skylar.
We know why we need 3 quarterbacks. See, that's the elephant in the room. Why do we even need
Still a waste, bro.
Because all right, so Lewis,
that's what you have a backup for.
Quarterbacks have been proving
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying if Tua's the guy that they are moving forward with, you need 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
You name one quarterback that will take less than $10 million.
We just going to use that 53 man.
How do you know? Color. It can be 11.
Andy Dalton.
It can be 11. I don't care. 12, 13. Just as long as it's not 10. Because the Dolphins, when they pay any player $10 million, it backfires on them.
That's an argument, Stephen D. I'm talking about even $11 million.
Yes.
That is the bottom rate for any quarterback in this league.
I don't know about that. I think you can.
Name the guy that will take less than $11
Andy
million.
Dalton will probably take $4 to $5 million.
I was going to say Andy Dalton will take $4 to $5 million. I think we can get lucky with Gardner Minshew and Jameis Winston.
There is not a quarterback on this planet that will stand behind our offensive line for less than $11 million.
Well, so to me, that doesn't matter.
I want to get to that.
The conversation is, I would keep 3 quarterbacks, and you need to have the insurance policy, and Skylar deserves all the reps in the preseason. That's what I would say.
Where are we going to find the money for that 3rd quarterback at $11 million?
Hey, we can say good and bad.
We got money.
Why Skylar is insurance?
Let me answer Color's question.
We got
one thing we can disagree about Chris Greer, but we know that man's a genius when it comes to salary cap stuff. So
just not when it comes to quarterback one.
Greer won't do that.
Just not when it comes to Lamar Jackson, though.
When it comes to
Market value.
I don't want Lamar.
Market value for Andy Dalton is $6.8 million.
Greer will make the cat work. I do have faith in Greer there.
Track.
I might not have faith.
That's going to change drastically, Batman, in the next 2 months. You know that.
Value be damned. His investments in making more than that in a year sitting on the couch.
I got a quick question.
He could be in Miami sitting on the couch. That's the luxury.
Hey, Batman, but hold on. I got a quick question for the panel.
Completely missed my point. He won't play, Batman.
Without you,
he will not play.
He'll be the third stringer. He's not
okay. That's fine. Again, you guys keep wanting to skip over the main point. Without putting without doing a Google search, can anyone tell me who the backup quarterback is in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's I do know this.
Again, it's taking you forever. You know why? Because
I know this though.
But no one cares.
I don't care about any other teams. I don't care.
But you're missing the point. The point is we're sitting here arguing about bringing in a not even a second string, a third string quarterback because the organization and us as fans don't believe in QB1.
You're gonna have to have one on the third string.
I think our conversation. Look, our conversation is
the reason why we don't know right offhand about Jacksonville is because Trevor Lawrence plays every game.
Hold on, can I respond to Lewis? Lewis, here's the thing.
That's the real reason.
Here's the thing: they are not questioning whether he can play or not. They're questioning whether he can stay healthy. I think the front office, the reason that he's coming back next year is because the front office believes he's got the goods. They think that when he's here and he's on the field,
so for 11 games he got the goods. So you're telling me for 11
I'm just telling you what
13 games.
I'm telling you what I believe the front office thinks. I believe
and this is why I believe
13 games
and this is why I believe the organization is feeding us a bunch of crap then. Because I don't want to hear people that come up and tell me, oh, we're missing an offensive line depth. We're missing corner depth.
We know that.
That's
obvious. You know why you're missing.
Can I state something for the record? To Lewis's
point, who's that quarterback? They've all been hurt.
Can I back up
everyone on the offensive line all year?
Not only does nobody know who Jacksonville's backup is. By the way, it's CJ Beathard.
Yeah.
Not only does nobody know who that is,
you're right.
But guess what? They only carried 2 quarterbacks on their depth chart this year.
Thank you.
I would say 25%, 25 teams probably whatchamacallit.
Right. And where is Jacksonville? Where is Jacksonville going to be at this Sunday?
In the AFC divisional round?
Thank you.
Right.
NFC.
And it's because
I like how you said that,
quarterbacks
Steven.
on their roster.
Where else they're going to be at?
NFC.
QB1 stayed.
And who are they playing?
No, CB83. It's because their QB1 stayed on the field. That's why they're playing in the division.
Jacksonville playing this week?
Great.
Steven, would you?
Oh, okay.
Steven.
Okay. So it'll be in Kansas.
I like Jacksonville.
Would you pay $15 million for Cooper Rush?
What, Caslin? You're breaking up, bud.
Would you pay $15 million for Cooper Rush?
No. He might command more years. Though,
wow.
They'll pay 7 for Andy Dalton.
He might command 3-year deal. I don't think Miami's going to want to do that.
I don't know. That's a good question, Caslin. I mean, look, I would like Cooper Rush here as a backup. He'd be a good backup for me. I would be okay with it.
Pay $15 million for a backup. Like we did.
I'd rather get that perennial right tackle from San Francisco.
That's the same insanity that Stephen Ross told us about.
And then next year, when that backup comes in and fails, and we're all crapping on him like we did Teddy this year, what are you going to say then?
We have a 2024 first-round pick. At that point, we could address it.
Y'all going to be talking about how Chris Greer. You're all going to be talking about how Chris Greer wasted another $15 million on a quarterback that was worthless.
No, it's the reality of where we're at, though. Color, like this is the card.
Why can't people just be
reality
real?
is. The reality is
you gotta realize you're not going to hit on everything.
No, hold on.
The reality is we're insane.
Hold on, Color. This is the bet that the Dolphins have made. We don't like it, and a lot of us don't.
Oh,
we need to understand this is what
we're just trying to deal with the situation.
Fair enough.
But we still get to complain about the bet that they
got to
said
sleep that part at the top of your lungs.
You know what I mean? Hey, we need a definite right tackle. I've seen. I've looked at BYU, Northwestern. I like those 2 guys over there. If we can see the problem with this scheme that McDaniels run, it requires the offensive line to play the dance together. And whenever you're flip-flopping offensive line, everybody's got this becomes a problem.
Man, you make great logical points, bro.
There's no way.
Wait, but I thought that's why we were supposed to have Matt out.
William, your point is brilliant, William. William, your point is brilliant. My issue is we already went through all these discussions last offseason. This was supposed to be the determinant year. Now
everybody got hurt.
Now it's a rookie head coach year. You all got to find out how to be when they have another year together.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
And everybody's going to continue to get hurt.
Hold on, Crypto Color. I want to ask you a question. Is it fair for a first-year head coach to be judged for the future off of his first year, off of 1 year?
In this particular case, yes.
No.
You start on third base.
Objectively, no.
Objectively, no.
I would give you the reason.
Oh, Triple S hit it right on the head.
No, when it's a matter of opinion in the first place.
No, look, color. You're 100% right. It is a matter of opinion. But here's my thought. Okay, I don't think it's fair to judge off of 1 year. I think if this is the guy you chose to go to have lead your team, go with him.
But you're asking a generalized question. If I think it's fair, no, I don't think it's fair either. But in this particular case,
by the way, I think
took it on.
I think most fans don't think that it is, but they also understand this roster, the way it was constructed. Like, y'all needed to win some games and more than 9 of them, and I think people agree with that. But then you go to the playoff game, which is where we all wanted to be at the end of the day, and we wanted to win. But we lost to the number 2 seed on the road.
You're asking. First of all, you're asking the wrong person the question, and secondly, you're asking the wrong question. Okay. First of all, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard anybody in this fan base say that Mike McDaniel should get a 10-year contract?
No.
No.
Yeah, you have.
You haven't?
Color did.
No.
Color said it.
Color said it.
Color did.
Because not only did I say it once, I've been yelling it at the top of my lungs for 6 months.
I have. You haven't.
I've never heard
John
we gotta stop the
contract.
I apologize.
Quit telling me you all know what the fuck I say.
Stop.
I didn't say that. Nobody said that.
Who said
I-
that?
multiple times.
What are you talking
83 came up on this panel and started putting words into my mouth.
Color, he hasn't said a thing to you. Color
haven't even said anything.
We're not going backwards. Let's go forward. No. Not
forward.
No,
he
fair
didn't say
enough.
anything to you.
Again, like I said, you're asking the wrong guy that fairness question because I called for a 10-year contract.
I asked it based on your prior comment. That's all that I did. This is a discussion show. I just wanted to know.
Because it was a general statement of fairness. And no, I don't think it's fair to judge a first-year head coach on his first year. But a guy coming in, a guy coming in, putting his nuts in a wheelbarrow for everybody to see, saying, I got this. Well, you better have it.
Well, the thing about it is that, like, McDaniel didn't walk in here and say, all right, I think I can do something with these guys. And he was doing something with the guys that they had already on the roster. We didn't take any linemen in the draft or anything like that. He didn't pick up any pieces that he even wanted. He got Eric Izukama. He got Channing Tindall. Those and Scott.
Arguably the 2 most important.
Why didn't we just blow the whole thing up then?
Yeah,
because we have a lot of pieces.
We expected more out of this guy, despite being a first-year head coach.
We got to expect that out of the players too.
Of course we
do.
You
know what I'm saying? Of course and McDaniel had the scheme going together.
I've got players got to play at some point on copy and paste. I'm the only one that puts that in chat.
But what I'm saying is that only in year 1, whenever you only using like a third of the playbook anyway, you know what I'm saying? There has to be consistency on that line for them to play within the playbook.
You feel the same way about Josh Boyer?
McDaniel took the first year to access the team.
Josh Boyer.
He brought in 2 guys. he wanted to see if we could coach up some of these guys. Some guys can't be coached up. So guess what? He said in year 2 he's going to finish his O-line.
All right, let Triple S go. Go Triple S.
So real quick, I agree with what William Perry said. We need to have some continuity because constantly switching pieces and the O-line not playing as one is a big problem with this kind of offense that we run. And that's why our run game wasn't what we thought it would be. Right or wrong?
Yeah, or the pass game.
So let's go back to the beginning of the season when I was told by multiple people that Matt Applebaum and Mike McDaniel were these run game gurus, these O-line gurus. They were supposed to lift up the Eichenbergs. They were supposed to lift up the Austin Jacksons. They were supposed to lift up the Solomon Kinleys, who's not even on the team anymore. So, and then we're saying, okay, he's going to finish the O-line this year, right? I didn't see much improvement from any of those guys.
Well, Jackson got hurt.
Decent.
That's because they got hurt.
Yeah, okay, Jackson got hurt. Eichenberg got hurt, but
when he played,
that's baked in the cake.
But when
they're gonna always get hurt.
Fire Boyer,
those guys played,
you can't keep using injuries.
Hold on. When those guys played, it wasn't like we saw like, okay, yeah, I see improvement. This guy looks like he's it.
Right.
And on top of that, they doubled down in the press conference and said, Eichenberg and Jackson, we're going to bring them back. They'll get a chance to compete. So it kind of goes to what William was saying, where we're going to have continuity. But I mean, I'm still not seeing the improvement. And based off the track record, I know it's only 1 year. I'm not so confident that I'm going to see that improvement. And are we going to have the same issues as we had this year, next year, with no run game?
You won't have those
what if
issues
Jackson gets hurt
because
again? What if Eichenberg gets hurt again?
Let me go ahead.
But look, it's the thing. A lot of people are misconstruing what he said in that press conference. Because he said they're still going to be here and he's not giving up on them. That's his draft picks. Y'all got to expect that. But he did not say they're going to play. They could be on the bench trying to get better all year so he can trade them.
People always say, "Hey, why are you?"
He did say they will
Chris,
compete.
Look, Chris Greer is at this point. Chris Greer is a politician.
He can't coach up the bad ones.
Hold on, I want to hold on real quick. Hold on.
You're bad. I don't care how good of a coach I am. If you're bad, I can't coach up bad.
Right.
I'm just gonna make you a better bad player.
You're Mario Chalmers. Period.
Hold on. Let me ask CB. Why do you say that Chris Greer is a politician? Go into more detail.
This is what you guys got to realize.
I don't agree with CB.
But this is what you have to realize about NFL teams and organizations, owners, coaches, anybody who steps in front of that mic is a representative of the organization. Correct. Anything they say, please take it with a grain of salt.
Thank you. That's all we've been telling you to do.
No, that shit can change at the drop of a dime.
Unless it's Tua, CB. Admit it.
So why?
Admit it. You have no credibility because you won't admit that also applies. Oh my God. CB, Color. Chill for a second.
This is why y'all should.
There's a whole receipt out there. There's a whole receipt out there.
Don't like each other.
Only I could get a color like
CB83. Does that mean take it with a grain of salt with all 53?
Take it all with a grain of salt. Tua might not even be the guy next year. We don't know.
We know what you think.
Let's really be real about it.
I just want. I've never heard. I have heard the statement or the term used before that a GM is like a politician.
Bro.
I don't know how that translates to run a
for saying the
successful
same
NFL
thing he just said.
No, you don't, Color.
Yes,
you just
I do, bro. You've insulted me yourself for saying it. What are you talking about?
So, Steven, you saying a politician can't run an NFL team? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, look, I
not our politicians.
No, I don't.
None of them.
You're damn right about that.
Issue. So, when a GM gets in front of in a press conference and says whatever they say, right? Doesn't matter what they say. But are you telling me that they're saying it for the sake of public opinion? Because in my opinion,
a lot of it, yeah,
that's a moot point. They can easily come up there and say, we haven't made that decision yet, and we're going to move forward that way.
Yeah, but they're not going to say that.
You got to remember what the question was.
That won't satisfy the media.
You have to remember what the question was. Look, you have to remember what the question from the reporter was. The question from the reporter was, what's the status of QB1? Who is it? Is it Tua? And when
said Tua,
Greer answered that question, number one, we only have 4 quarterbacks rostered on our roster right now. Who else was he supposed to say?
So this isn't directed at Color. This is a generalized question. Take the quarterback out of the scenario. To make a blanket statement that CB83 said, that a GM, that Greer's a politician, that a GM is a politician, I don't see how that benefits the team, the public, the fan base. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Because
they don't know.
Hey, look, I'll answer
Because
that
he
right
want to
now.
hold his
And
cards
Stevie
to his
knows I'm
vest,
right.
Steven.
If he comes out and says, "No, we're shopping," all
too
those
much
two lists
controversy.
will freaking
He's got to hold his
plummet.
Well,
cards to
see,
his vest.
they're also.
That makes sense. That makes
But
sense.
see, there's also a
controversy.
He's got to
chess
hold his
game.
cards to his vest and
There's
not tip his hand.
Hold on.
There's
Sometimes
also a chess game that has to be played within these GMs as well.
Let's CB. Go ahead, CB.
65% of your
Sometimes
season
you
ticket
have to
holders are
calm-
2-and-ears. You can't come out and say we're
Forget the
shopping.
quarterback for a second. Go ahead, CB. Go ahead.
Sometimes you have to calm the noise. And
Yes.
and that's when you go into the off season, you don't want a bunch of noise. Like you don't want a bunch of distractions.
So by
Sometimes-
by
by
him coming
say-
out and just
by
putting a
saying-
stop to it.
Yeah, by saying, hey, Tua's our guy moving forward, it means that he's our guy moving forward. People have an understanding of what we're trying to do. And then he can also, he's still going to fill calls
So
and
here's the
make
question.
moves.
So here's my next
He's
question.
trying to cock block your content. That's what he's doing. That's what Greer's
what?
doing.
Oh, Greer.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
it's
Hold
not-
on. So
He
here's
doesn't
the
care
next
about our
question.
content. He doesn't care.
Greer-
We
about it.
won't have
Greer-
anything to bitch and moan about and talk about. We won't have any conspiracy theories to talk about.
TV, here's a question.
Your
Is
content,
Greer-
your bottom line. He's effective.
Is Greer on the phone in the next breath in the next room afterwards, saying, "Okay, who's available? Who wants to come here? Are they in a war room looking at those?"
He did it all last year with the Deshaun Watson
happening for
situation.
2 years.
First of all, you're also
if-
playing poker, right? You're not trying to show your hand.
I just said that.
Hold
I
on.
just said
If
that.
Greer then decides to make a move for a quarterback, how are we supposed to view Greer? Because now he's not a man
Like
who
a politician. That's how you're supposed to reel.
Like
Like
we
a
view Nick
politician.
Saban.
Like a
Like a
politician,
politician.
exactly
Nick
like a
Saban.
politician that'll lie to you straight to your
Hey,
face.
lie to you
That's
straight
how
to
you
your face
view
and
him.
do something
Hey,
different.
quote, Nick
the
Saban,
package-
quote, I am going to be the Miami Dolphins coach next year. 24 hours
hey,
later.
look, Color.
That's a coach.
Hey, Steven, they're lying. They're lying.
That's
to
any
per-
personnel, Batman.
Hey, it's
Nah,
lying
GM,
because
he
they
knows
No,
love
you
you,
gotta look
right?
at bro. A lot of us are looking at it. A lot of us are looking at it wrong.
Steven,
You're looking at it wrong.
Steven,
Y'all gotta remember, this is a
one other
product that
thing-
he's trying to sell. This
One
is a
other thing I
product.
want
The
y'all to
Miami
put in the
Dolphins are a product.
One other thing I want you all to put into context with this.
These are soft-spoken half-truths.
When we look at successful
Exactly, Will
franchise,
Perry.
I'm not saying these things aren't done. I'm not saying that's how GMs or coaches move. I've seen it. I understand that. But when I look at successful franchises, I don't see them moving like this.
Because they don't have to. They pick the right guys and they pick the right coaches.
But you don't
They're
always pick
winning.
the right guys.
Wait,
don't
hold on a
always pick the
second.
right coaches. That's
They don't
San
have to
Francisco
do
was
that when
playing
they're
Stan
winning.
at the beginning. Whenever they
Arizona
got
just fired Cliff Kingsbury after having him for a
McDaniel
couple
could be the
years
guy for the next 10 years.
on a
We're here
crazy
talking-
contract.
Exactly.
If there was
And Denver just
100%
got rid of that
unity
guy
on
after
quarterback,
15
they
weeks of
wouldn't have
football.
to
And
play these
also,
games.
we don't pay attention as much to
One at
those
a
other
time.
franchises as we are paying attention to our franchise.
Depends.
We're hearing it all because we're getting all the little stuff all the
Alright.
time.
We had 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
3 first-round picks, right?
Yep.
Who just had 3 first-round picks last draft?
Is it the Jets?
Right.
Jets.
And Jets had on every one of their first-round picks.
Not in a COVID year.
Yes.
That's the difference.
They're
Name
injury
one.
prone.
Yeah,
Name
that COVID
one.
year was bad too. Yeah.
Okay,
They're
Batman.
all
If you're
injury
acknowledging
prone.
that, and that's also why we didn't get a good evaluation of Tua before we drafted him, then why are you so willing to say that Tua's the guy and that we couldn't have possibly made a mistake?
They did make a
That's
mistake,
like-
and they knew it. They know it.
Wait.
Why?
How did
No,
they
let
make a mistake?
Batman answer. Let
How did they
Batman
make a
answer.
mistake?
How did they make a
Can't
mistake?
stay healthy.
But that's my point.
They knew he couldn't stay healthy.
It
They
was-
knew he wasn't the quarterback they wanted him to be.
So we knew Ross wanted to bring him in here with Greer, regardless of who they had. If Burrow was there as an option, they would have taken Burrow.
No, hold on.
But
No, they brought in
how you
Jordan
guys
Love. What are
see
you
it?
talking about?
If you guys
You had
wanna bring up
Flores?
Herbert
Hold on.
BS, I'm gonna say it like this:
You had
regardless of how y'all
Flores?
feel about Herbert, no matter what, Greer's been scouting Tua. He scouted him for 2-3 years, going back and forth to go see him. That was going to be the pick no matter what.
No. He did the same thing with Herbert, too.
Well, then why did he bring in Herbert?
Why did he bring in pick?
Then he had the opportunity to draft.
And he missed on the pick, bro.
Hold on. He had Marino.
Why was Jordan Love the only person he brought in?
He had Marino and he had Flores both talking how much they wanted, how good Herbert was. Marino was at Oregon watching Herbert 5 times.
My point exactly. Greer was there, and these guys are over there doing their thing.
Greer's been scouting him for 2 years too.
Don't matter. It's a water under the bridge.
They messed up.
Exactly.
He was not scouting Herbert. He was there looking at
he was the wrong pick. You don't know that yet. We don't know
Steven,
that.
where's Dre at?
He has been
injured.
He has the concussions. He has all this.
You don't know that.
You're the guy feeding me the BS saying he was the wrong pick. So don't come with me at that BS. You're the one telling me that.
Yeah,
that's the difference. That's the difference.
That's literally what I just said. You're the one that don't believe.
Doesn't make you right. I'm not right, but at the end of the day, doesn't make you damn right either. So don't.
It's an opinion, bro. At the end of the day, you can't get mad at people for their opinion.
It was a COVID year.
Hey, nobody's wrong.
You said it was the wrong pick. You said that too, Color.
No, I asked you if it's possible for the same reasons you illustrated about the COVID year.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not possible because he's the right pick.
Then. That's
He's been
opinion.
hurt. So yes, I think he's the right pick. Yes.
That's Batman's opinion. Color, you have a separate opinion. That doesn't make anybody wrong. Y'all have to wait for the future.
I disagree. I disagree with the opinion. So he hasn't said
He hasn't
opinion.
That's why it's an opinion. You don't have to agree with people's opinion.
Right. For 3 years, the dude hasn't stayed healthy at all. 3 years. How much more are you going to give this guy?
Yeah, but it's also like the whole team construction.
You signed him to a 4-year contract, so I would assume 4 years.
We gave Tua 7. We're going to give him 8.
They're giving him a 7-year plan, Dave. You know this.
They hate this. Batman, they hate
If he gets hurt again next year, y'all
got a question for the panel.
I'm not doing a 7-year plan. I'll tell you that.
It's obvious it's a 7-year plan.
I don't want to see that 2.0.
Bet you're already in it, bro.
Hey, we gave Tua 7.
We already knee deep into the 7-year plan.
We're going to give
No,
Tua
we're
8.
not.
Ocho, baby. Ocho. We giving them 8 years, buddy.
Hey, real quick. Is it just Nick Bosa that is a psychopath, or is it both the Bosa brothers? And could the entire Bosa family be all a family of psychopaths?
Oh,
that shit is that. Listen to how they talk.
That's a family situation.
Talk like, Jeffrey Dahmer.
What are you talking about?
Go listen to Nick Bosa. Go listen to their interviews, bro. Those people kill people.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
Hey,
I said it. I said it.
Where's why did Lewis run away?
Allegedly.
I'm just saying
on the field or like
they
an interview
sound like they eat people.
Oh my God!
They the Jeffrey Dahmer household.
You're saying some outrageous stuff right now, bro.
I'm on record saying I'm concerned about the NFL players in the locker room at this point, and maybe some referees.
What are you talking about?
I gotta see these interviews.
Have you never seen a Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa interview?
Oh my God, bro! I'm so
we're gonna have to pull one up.
Confused right now.
Just go look.
Confused.
You're not talking about like on the field interviews, right? Like not on the field interviews, like more interviews like at home.
Honestly, go just look at their press conference interviews. Go look at Joey Bosa's interview from the other day. Like he dropped like 5 F-bombs, and they were the most silent F-bombs I've ever heard.
And that makes them serial killers. And
go listen to Nick Bosa. And then go look at Joey Bosa. Look how they talk. Look how they look. And then y'all will be like, they eat people.
Whoa. Hey, I echo QB1
outrageous takes in my day.
You right, man. You right,
William, what's the latest on QAnon?
Hey,
I don't
know. What's still to be seen, Steven, is that
I thought Pete had the wildest takes up here, William. What are you doing?
I swear to God, Stephen, I will post these on Facebook today. These interviews, and you will see. Oh, we're staring at like
I'll check them out.
American
Post them today. Post them
psychos.
today. Post them today. I'll check them out on Facebook.
I swear to God, when I saw it, I said this a couple weeks ago to everybody. I was like, I think Nick Bosa might eat people, and everybody was like, I guess they didn't hear it.
Allegedly.
Based on how those guys play, maybe we need some more players that eat.
I've been trying to protect you, Stephen D.
For the record,
Thank you. I appreciate it, boy.
They allegedly.
I'm about to get shut down, boy. They're about to come up to my house. I saw the stuff about Aaron Hernandez. Don't let that happen to me.
Dude, listen.
Yeah,
this
no.
might be a whole different type of Hernandez thing going on here, brother. This looks like a family affair.
Oh my God, dude! What in the world right now?
Stephen, I'm telling you,
help me, please.
You're saying, William, you're saying this is going to be a 30 for 30 10 years from now?
This is going to be a 30 for 30.
William,
Interview me saying,
Batman, it's going to be a 30-30. It's going to be the 305 boys.
That's what I'm saying. This dumb guy from Alabama came into this interview and said, "Hey, I think these guys are serial killers."
They're from Florida, William Perry,
and literal serials.
So he's talking about Williams from Alabama.
Yeah. William,
me.
Hey, Steven, I got to roll, man. It was great. Hey, I enjoyed it. Hey, appreciate everybody coming through. Color, Dade County, Caslin, Triple S, 2080 Crypto, Batman, Rashad. What's up with y'all boys, man? William Perry, appreciate y'all, man.
CB, I'm so sorry.
He just leaves me out. Look at that.
CB,
I said color. Hey, I said color first.
He was the first person. He was said color.
Hey, color. I just want you to. I love you, bro. There's no ill feelings.
Likewise,
I know
man.
you feel some
You
type
know
of way, bro. I love you. Shout out to the TFTG fam. Color,
Likewise,
Cap,
but you're still incredulous.
Lewis with his terrible takes. I love y'all boys, man.
Hold on,
CB,
real quick.
CB, hold on.
Yeah,
Real
go
quick.
ahead.
I gotta tell CB.
You ain't
CB,
nothing but the biggest capper I know.
There he goes.
You out
There
here
he
capping out here in
goes.
these damn streets, man.
I gotta apologize to CB because I was
Don't
supposed to
worry,
call him.
Lewis. He got his Lucky Charms too.
Hey,
And
Lewis, put that Tua jersey out the closet, my boy. Pull it out the closet, my boy.
Well, out of the case. He has it in the case. Friendly hug, CB83. Right back.
Big hugs. Hey, big hugs to y'all boys, man. Love y'all boys. Be good, man.
Hey,
Lewis, again, let me finish. Let me finish this last
I bet you that belly is on right now.
Well, since CB jumped up, I'll just tell him off camera. I mean, while he's off camera, that I was supposed to go on a couple of his shows to do conspiracy theories that I made up, and I was so busy I couldn't get to.
Like you just made up?
That I made up.
I didn't make this one up. I didn't make this one up.
You out here trying to say that the Bosas are serial killers and
no, I said they could. I said they could possibly be eating people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
The cannibals.
I haven't done into the in-depth interviews yet, but if I have to do my homework, I will. You should have seen the one I was going to do about Chris. I mean, not Chris Gear. Who's the owner of the Dolphins? Stephen Ross, and him stealing, going to Colombia or wherever Yoel Romero was to their superhuman program.
In the world right now, bro.
I love how William Perry was like, I got these conspiracy theories that I made up.
Wild Out Wednesday has turned into something else, cuz.
William's trying to do is change the combo from Tua's trash.
Oh, that's what it is. That makes sense.
Lewis, don't
pedaling up his line.
Just trying to. Oh, by the way, I see your camera's working perfectly now, Lewis. But anyways, like I was saying, you got it to work. It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Now that CB's gone.
Break it again.
Let's do final thoughts of the day. We'll start out with Triple S, man. Final thoughts of the day. If y'all want to keep donating, you can do that. That way people can't have their final thoughts. If you just say, I don't want to hear this person's final thoughts, you can get them off. Swear jar still in full effect. Let's go. Triple S, go.
Hey, first of all, I want to say shout out to Level 2 Noob. Me and him had a little back and forth earlier in the chat. I called him Level 2 Boob. Apologize for that. He timed me out for 300 seconds.
Damn.
So let's call it all fair. Square it away. Shout out Level 2 Noob, though. No ill
I'm about to
feelings.
say, Triple S did not want the smoke with Level 2 Noob because let me tell you, Level 2 Noob got it 4 days, bro. 4 days.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's part of why I'm up here, saying what I'm saying right now. It is what it is. So let's call that square. And so for final thoughts, I'll say at this point I'm half checked out of this team. I love this team more than anything in the world, but I'm half checked out until we get a viable quarterback that can stay healthy for more than 13 or whatever many games he played. I want to win a Super Bowl. I don't think that's crazy for a fan to ask for that. And I don't think a guy that's going to play 13 games and not the biggest ones and not perform in the biggest ones is going to help us get to that goal. So I want someone that's going to help us get to that goal ultimately. That's my final thought.
All right, brother. Love you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Triple S.
All right, let's go to let's see here. We'll go to Robert. Final thought of the day, Robert.
What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Robert, you missed all the fun today, buddy.
Yeah, you've been
All right.
quiet today, man.
I would have just got up here, Color. I've been busy doing work, trying to fight through some admin crap.
Roger that.
Well, we missed you. Is what we're trying to say.
Well, I missed you guys too. You were entertaining, to say the least. William Perry, I'm with you. The Bosa brothers are murderers. They will eat any quarterback alive. They're like breakfast for candy.
Thank you. I'm not the only one that thinks it.
Absolutely insane takes this morning.
Steven, they look at a QB sitting in the backfield and see a T-bone steak. They don't see a person. Let's call it what it is.
Oh my God. I'm gonna get canceled because of you guys. Go ahead.
Oh, come on. That was PG, Steve. It could be worse.
Allegedly a T-bone. It could have been a sirloin.
I think it's true. See, they look at people like food. Man, my take.
So real quick, just to add on to that, the movie The Menu? The guys who made that movie were watching football and saw the Bosa brothers play, and we're like, oh, the quarterbacks are the guests in that movie.
Interesting.
If you don't know it, you should go watch.
What is it called?
The Menu. It's out new.
All right. The Menu. All right, I'll go look. It is on my watch list, actually, now that you say that.
By the way, you got to watch The Last of Us, Steven.
All right. I think that's on my watch
that was
list.
good.
Watch list
That
too.
was good.
Number one
guys
rated
know.
show of all time on IMDb.
That was
All right.
good.
What else? Final thought, Robert.
I'm playing catch up, but no, it'll be an interesting offseason. We'll see what happens. People are kind of all over the place. I say fire Boyer personally. I'm tired of the third and longs being converted. I think McDaniel has some room to grow and some growing up he needs to do if he repeats the same mistakes this next year.
Yeah,
then
Robert.
we have a problem.
That's fine.
And we'll see what happens. But just kind of got to let it all play out.
It'll be interesting to say the least. All right, Robert. We'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
We converted a 3rd and 22 against the Bills. Are they firing their defensive coordinator?
Wow, good point, Color.
Well, we've allowed 3rd and 15 like at least 70 times this year, so it's a thing.
70.
That is a cap.
The difference is color. The difference is color. They're a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
All right.
We were decimated on injuries.
Let's go to
Yeah,
let's
keep mic dropping. We were decimated on injury.
I agree.
Final thought,
I agree.
Rashad.
I agree.
Go ahead, Rashad. Final
I
thought.
second what Robert says. Get Boyer the heck up out of here. I mean, it's unfortunate we did have those injuries, but you got to put these the same way we blame
That's what the
McDaniel
GM
for.
said. We had injuries, so he's staying.
Yeah. Whatever. The same way we give backlash to McDaniel for putting Skyler in positions to throw interceptions and all that stuff. You put these young, untalented players in bad positions, especially on 3rd down.
So you think we should fire McDaniel as well?
3 and 4 turnovers. Gotcha.
So you think we should fire McDaniel as well then?
Heck no.
Well, then why fire Boyer?
It's not a first year
coach. I don't think we should. I don't think Buffalo will fire their defensive coordinator because they were top 5. I don't think we fired McDaniel because our offense was top 10. So
But they're not
Yeah,
top 10.
and they are top 10, and that's
No, they
with
are.
our
Go look.
and that's with
No, they
our
dropped out of the top 10.
Like around week 13, we dropped out of the top 10.
You there, Rashad?
I'm here.
All right, it's your final thought. Proceed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your final thought.
That's also with 2 backup quarterbacks. Shout out Skyler. He did his thing. Can't wait to see him next year as a backup. And then we can evaluate Tua if he stays for 2024 or not. But see y'all
later, Rashad.
All right, Rashad.
I just wonder if putting Tanner Connor in with Skyler was helping Skyler
Bye,
out.
Capper. Bye, Capper.
Hey, Batman, by the way, it is Boyer's first year. According to the Tua rules, he was not the defensive coordinator last year. This is his first full year as DC.
His title was DC.
Oh, yeah, keep that incredulous looking
His
facial
title was
expression up
DC.
there.
His title was DC. Sat behind, learning from Flores' system for 2 damn years. Then he comes here,
But no,
year,
he
and
gets
he
his
craps
first
the
time
bag.
on his
I don't
own.
care.
Without the training wheels, this is his first full year.
I don't care. This is McDaniel's first full year.
I did.
That's why you don't
And
make
this
the
is
argument.
Boyer's first full season.
On your face, though, it was perfect.
3 years.
All right, we'll go with Dade County Wop. Final thought of the day.
Dade County.
Yo, let's just stop overreacting, guys. Like I get it, the frustration. I get we all want what we want, but let's keep in mind that we have no say so. Bro, let's just sit back, see what actual team they put together. Then we can go all lose our minds. Damn, you almost got me, Steven, on that swear.
I almost did.
But,
well, you got like
almost,
$5 to spend.
It's all good. But as far as the quarterback, y'all know where I stand. I didn't have too much of a problem with his play. Yes, he played. He didn't play well to end the season, but my main issue was injuries. They're stating that they're going forward with Tua, so we got to take that as we got to take that with a grain of salt, just like everything else they said, until actual major moves are made. But if they do say they're running back with Tua, let's get behind them. Let's just hope that it works out next season. That's all you can do at the end of the day. We can cry about everything we want, but at the end of the day, we don't have no say so.
100%.
Man.
Wow.
Spoken like a true Tuaneer.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want. I'm just not gonna lose my mind. Matter of fact, I want to look at Lewis when I say this shit. I'm not gonna lose my mind because you over here vibing wrong. Y'all over here be tripping, bro. Y'all be losing y'all minds over something you don't have control over, bro. Hey, just chill, bro.
Hey, you know what's funny? Hey,
maybe
you know
maybe they'll listen to and tune in for once.
Hey, I be hearing Dade County go in on crypto on Twitter. He comes out here on YouTube and tries to play the Billy Gospel, but on Twitter, him and Crypto be going at it. Look at you.
Hey, but look, me and Crypto do go at it. But me and Crypto don't never go. Me and Crypto don't never get the name calling. Me and Crypto either just say, all right, we'll continue this later, and we pretty much never do. But bro, that's how it's supposed to be. We shouldn't be going at each other, families, and all that stuff because we don't agree. Everybody has an opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. I don't have to believe your opinion, and you can't call me wrong for not believing in your opinion.
I agree.
We don't know nothing until history shows itself. When it shows itself, then you can come back and be like, this is what I told you. Until then, everybody wrong.
And Dade County, remind all these boys how flexible I am with my opinion. Tell them how you talked me off the wide receiver 3 cliff and brought me back to wide receiver 2.
Because you started it, yeah. Because you started at wide receiver 3, which was crazy. So, like I said, I just tried to explain to you that yeah, he may not be he's not a wide receiver 1 in this offense. So regardless of anything, you can't go lower than 2. 2 is what is 100%. Fair for Waddle because that's what he is in this offense.
100%.
I'll leave it at that.
He can get back to wide receiver 1 value, but right now his value is 2. And if somebody's willing to give me a wide receiver 1 bag, I'm taking it. That's all I said. It wasn't an outrageous.
And you have every right to feel that way, but that's most likely still not gonna happen. Though. Well, I got to get back to work, fellas. FBL don't play.
All right, later, Dave. Love you, man.
They were going.
I do agree that I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying.
Right.
The reality is we can't be afraid to make those moves just because we love his touchdown dance. That's all I'm saying.
It's not that color.
And that's what Batman
It's the
loves.
production color. It ain't the dance. It's the
hard to
production.
replace that color. I mean, yeah.
No, it's not hard to replace that.
For his caliber, what he does, color. Yes.
Those are coming a dime a dozen in the draft.
Actually.
Year over year is not.
That route
Every
running,
year you see at least 3 or
speed.
4 new wide receivers balling
but
out. in
Those
this
those
league.
receivers you speak of, they go in the first round. So what are we talking?
No, not just the first round.
Those ones
Christian
that you're
Watson won
talking
the first
about.
round.
Yeah,
Christian Watson caught,
dumb teams
Christian
like
Watson
us
almost
pick them in
caught
the
3
first round.
touchdown
You're
passes
right,
in
Matt.
one game.
Dumb teams like us pick those guys in the first round. You're right.
Not a Waddle. That's not a Waddle.
They
You're
can
right,
give you
bro.
the same production.
Wait, he's right.
Christian
Chris.
Watson
Those
and
dumb
Waddle?
teams like the Miami Dolphins pick those guys in the first round. You're right.
You only base it off production now, not what they actually do on the field, right?
Oh, no, yeah, of course, because nobody cares what we do on the field because they don't care if we win or not.
Who thinks that way, though? In all honesty,
The organization.
I have a difficult time believing that. As much as I do not like Ross, I just have a difficult time believing that. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's perplexing. Is that fair to say?
I'll bring up 2 examples. Okay, so y'all can stop calling me so extreme and crazy.
I literally, all I said was I have a difficult time believing it. That's all I said.
Okay. Well, and I'm going to try to help with that difficulty by putting out 2 names in history, one less recent and one more recent.
Okay.
Herschel Walker, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
You think any of those teams are like, oh my God, we'll never be able to replace Khalil Mack? Where's he at now? He's already on his
Herschel
second
Walker
team
been replaced like 5
and we
times
shut him
over
down.
already.
He didn't get one pressure on Tua.
And Herschel Walker got replaced by Dallas like 5 different times. With some decent running backs.
Let's get something straight. They won Super Bowls because of that trade. Let's be real.
Right.
What a Waddle bag can't win Super Bowl
because of the Herschel Walker.
Ross's most recent words, and hopefully win Super Bowl. Hopefully. You think the Dallas Cowboys are hopefully going to win a Super Bowl when they trade Herschel Walker? No, they did win a Super Bowl twice.
Well, I don't know. Dade, you're gone, right? Dade already did his. All right, let's do Caslin. Final thought of the day, Caslin.
Pretty much, one of the other guys says I'm kind of checked out of the franchise as it is by now. They need to replace the quarterback before I could even come back. This is my second sports team that I feel the same way about. So
you're a Knicks fan too, right?
No, I'm an Oakland A's fan who has the best front office in Major League Baseball, but yet they just refuse to spend money to win. But it's the same way here. I think they should fire Boyer. I think they should get rid of Tua. Find a quarterback that can come in and.
You're gonna get one of your wishes. I believe Boyer's gone personally.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna get none of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think I'm gonna get any of them because just the last 35 years has been the same crap with this franchise.
You're and I'm not making fun of you, but you're a jaded fan. Is that fair to say?
I'm just tired of the same old mediocre. This team used to make the playoffs every year. Used to be a dominant team. Well, you don't. I do.
I don't.
They used to be a dominant team in the AFC. They just 13-3, 12-4. That was where the Dolphins used to be. And since the Patriots have been, for 20 years, the Patriots were the best team in the AFC East. But the Dolphins used to be that way. And I haven't seen it because of it's the same thing. I see the mistakes that the front office has made since Marino was there. They never gave Marino a running game compared to like Elway. Elway had Elway had Terrell Davis. Kelly had Thurman Thomas. If you would have gave Marino a run game, he would have probably had 4 or 5 Super Bowls too. They just never did it.
It definitely would have been.
They tried.
Would have been different. Yeah.
They tried once. They tried. It was the 9th pick of the first round. It was Sammy Smith, and the dude fumbled 4 times.
Sammy Smith, boy, you going back on them boys.
The dude fumbled 3 times in the end zone in a game. You know.
Hey, if Shula would have handled him like Waddle, we would have kept him for another 3 years.
Yeah, it's just that we did keep him till, and he was always hurt too. He was injury prone too, so that was the other problem with him.
Sammy Smith, man, boy, you went there with that one.
Well, I told you I've been a fan since 83. I was 4 years old when I picked the team. I picked the team. I wasn't gifted the team. My father was a Cowboys fan.
How did you pick him?
I was young. I just watched the game. I used to watch football with my dad, and I
You
liked
were
the
young and
logo.
impressionable and saw, what's this cool looking team, man?
No, it was
You
the
were like-
colors and the logo. That's the reason why I picked them. And that's how I actually picked all my teams. That's just the way it was when I was a kid.
Oakland A's have the best uniform in Major League Baseball. That yellow is fire.
Yeah. But it's just it's one of those things that you've seen the patterns all these years and you hope every year you bring that something's gonna change, and it never does. They stick
Never
with the
does.
same. You had 7 years with Tannehill, and Tannehill leaves us, goes to a different team, and he does incredible things there, and everybody will say, "Oh,
you got that running back."
And yeah, but again, he's a game manager. That's all he was. That's all he's ever been. I mean, he showed up big games when it counted with against the Patriots. He always played. Same thing with Chad Henne. You can say whatever about Chad Henne. Chad Henne played good against the Patriots and against the guys that mattered, which was our division.
I ain't gonna lie. I remember dating my wife, and telling her, "Oh my God, Chad Henne's the guy. Chad Henne's the future of this team." I was a huge Chad Henne fan, man. I loved me some Chad Henne.
There was flashes of.
I have an autographed jersey of Chad Henne in my closet. No lie.
Me was Gus Farad and Tannehill.
There was flashes of brilliance with Henne. There was flashes of brilliance with Tannehill, and you've seen it when it was there. And the same thing with Tua. Sometimes I think Tua, a lot of it has to do with they brought in one of the best receivers in the league at creating separation and speed with Hill. And I think Hill is probably makes Tua look a hell of a lot better than what he is. Because of, for the last 3 years, I mean, you had the best number one receiver and contested catches on this team. They traded him away when McDaniels got here. And it just, whatever. I like Devontae Parker. I always did. He never got the credit he deserved, but he was also injury prone too. That was the other thing with him.
Extremely injury prone.
Right. But the dude can catch a ball. I mean, he always did. That was his, Yeah. And he led the league. He was above Devontae Adams in contested catches. I mean, that was who he was. And we traded him away, which is fine. He wouldn't fit in this offense either. I think he would have been a good safety net for him, but he doesn't use the safety nets he has. He has Gesicki. He doesn't use them. Gesicki, what, got 30 balls this year compared to 78 the year before? I mean,
Gesicki's, his writing was on the wall, I think, at the beginning of the year. We all thought that. We're like, yeah, if they don't, the way that McDaniel constructed, we knew how George Kittle was used in, his offense in San Fran. We're like, there's no way Gesicki's going to, unless he becomes a wide receiver. And I will say at the end of the year, they started using him standing up more than they did from the tight end set. But even still, he wasn't seeing catches. He wasn't seeing the field. So,
but at the very
look, I love Gesicki, and I'll just state this. I hope he's going to go somewhere and he's going to ball out. He's going to ball out.
At the very worst, they should have prepped him up, Steven, at least traded him in the trade deadline. At least done that.
I could see him going to the Chargers.
I don't think, real talk, I don't think they would have gotten anything more than a third rounder, which is what we're going to get for him anyway.
Or not if we bring in a free agent. That's comparable to his value.
Yeah, we would have also got more for him if we would have shined him up a little bit.
Well, that's why when Tom Brady comes here and Rob Gronkowski comes, we're good to go.
Well,
Tom
I'm saying
Brady
if we would have utilized him a little more than we did,
just
we
triggered
would have
the fan
shined
base.
him up a little more, and he probably would
Take
be getting.
that smirk
Probably
off,
would have more
Batman.
value.
Take
Guys, can I ask
smirk
you a
off your
question?
face,
Do you
Batman.
think we'll ever see a running back like Ricky, kind of like that again, at least playing with Tua?
No.
No, not with Tua. With another, there's two running backs in college right now that I wish we would have gotten. Jonathan Taylor. No, I think we could have had Jonathan Taylor. We could have had him, and I was like, that was one of the first things in the draft. I'm like, oh my god, you guys got to take him in the second round, and they didn't. They took somebody else, and I'm like, well, that's a shame, you know.
took Noah,
and I'm not just trying to be disagreeable with you, Batman, but I really believe that those days are gone. Like you're gonna rarely get a guy like that. Saquon almost
you have
fits
two
that
of
bill.
them, possibly not as good as Ricky, but two of them going into
Christian
free agency.
McCaffrey, maybe, but you just don't. Even the guys that look the part aren't that guy anymore. Look at Ezekiel Elliott, bro.
No,
well, as I said,
getting outshined by Tony Pollard. You know what I mean?
Most for the last 10 years, 15 years, the college has changed where it's more it's running back by committee and not just
exactly. A bell cow running back that doesn't get injured is almost a unicorn, like a star quarterback.
Yep.
Well, that's why I said Taylor was the perfect guy. That was the one first to the first down to third down was always Taylor in Wisconsin. That was where he was. You know, you hand the ball off to that dude, you know he was going to carry it for all three. That's just you hand it off to him. And they have another guy who just looks just like Taylor in Wisconsin right now. I forget what his name is, but he looks damn good too. And I can see him coming in and being in the NFL the same way. But I don't know if there's not many running backs in the league that you could think of that fit that mold of being, first and third down back, full running back. I mean, you don't even see fullbacks anymore. They're gone.
Nope.
But
you're not
wrong.
I'm making a little bit of a comeback, but not like everybody's wanting to throw the ball to them. Like, why do you throw the ball to a fullback, man? Come on. Maybe twice a year, but
look at the teams that play. Look at the offenses that they use. Do you ever see anybody line up in the I form anymore? No,
just us with Ingold and San Francisco with Juszczyk.
Right, but it's not like that's one team out of 32. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be real. I wanted to see Alec Ingold used differently this year than he was used. I think we could have used Ingold I was a little disappointed at how we used Ingold this year.
Oh, they just like to use him like short tight ends these days. Yeah. They're using the fullback as a short tight end. The tight end is
what anybody says. Lusaka Polite was one of the best fullbacks
too.
Rob Conrad.
Rob Conrad too, right?
Yeah, that's a good old name right there.
They're both great, but man, I love me some Lusaka Polite. If I had third and short or fourth and short within 3 yards, give me Lusaka Polite all day long. For like
every
2
once
years,
in a while, Batman, you impress me.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Lusaka Polite
who was one of the
3 years from third and short.
Who's the guy in the Jets? Who's the guy in the Jets for a couple of years?
Fullback?
Fullback.
The Jets.
I don't remember.
He was pretty damn good too. I'm trying to remember what his name is too. It was a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. It was Gaze was still the coach.
I don't remember. No, but I can tell you he wasn't as good as Lusaka. I loved me some Lusaka Polite, boy. That was my man.
Was good. Lusaka Polite was good.
All right, Caslin, anything else before I let you go, buddy?
No, like I said, I'm just, I've seen the same thing over and over again.
I had to thank Caslin for paying my swear jar too, man. Thanks, Caslin.
Caslin, thank you for donating, man. You've been donating a lot to the channel, and I just want to thank you, man. It means the world to me, seriously, man. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
We did a great service to the whole community. Paying my swear jar.
Just
Batman.
I don't mind helping,
Batman, look at Batman itching his beard.
I agree with a lot of things some people say.
Writing that name down.
All right, Caslin, be good, bro.
All right,
later.
All right, Caslin.
And in the spirit of what he said about uniforms, Stephen D, I put up my Cardinals avatar because
that
you gotta get off that Oakland A's take, bro. That is the best uniform in baseball right there. The birds on the bat.
What about the Mariners? That's close to us, isn't it? As far as color scheme, almost.
Yeah, well, they're like a sea green, Batman.
Yeah.
More like actually Dolphins, but
that's a cool color. That's a cool color. The Mariners.
But I mean, how can you beat the birds on the bat, dude? Come on, man.
I mean, I like the Miami Vice. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get why y'all like that. I mean, look, I'll never throw shade on the Marlins. Just because I ain't a Marlin fan, I'm still Miami all the way, and I'll never throw shade on them, ever. Even if we're playing them, I ain't gonna throw shade on them. You know what I mean?
I still prefer the old logo, though. Be honest.
I mean, I can throw shade in the respect that the organization sucks, and you're never gonna win a World Series in your lifetime. But that's just baseball. That's not in particular to the Marlins alone. That's everybody but the Yankees, Cardinals, and Giants. You know, maybe the Orioles. I'll throw Stephen D a bone.
I was about to say, being over here in Baltimore, I've had some rough summers, cuz, let me tell you.
And you know how it is, Stephen D, with a 162 game schedule. It's hard to be a baseball fan if you're not one of those competitors because you're 25 games in and you already know your season's over. You really have to love baseball to keep going to the games, man.
Oh, I'm a straight up loser when it comes to baseball. I will go see minor league, independent league. I love just going to baseball games.
I mean, it's fun in person, but I mean, these people that watch their 0-25 team on TV, I mean, that's just boring. I don't know how anybody does that, man.
All right, who's next? We'll go with Crypto. Final thought of the day.
Oh, you guys are dead wrong. The Cubs are freaking America's team.
Oh my God!
Stop your nonsense.
Please.
I didn't have to wait a full freaking 108 years for the debacle that was the Cubs prior to me being put on planet Earth. So I got to witness the glory of 2016. So there you have it. So in that aspect, the Dolphins will be the Chicago Cubs of football.
And who can you thank for that, Crypto?
We can thank for our management and all of our owners.
And who else? And who else?
And QB1.
No, I'm talking about the Cubs. Who can you thank for that? Say his name.
Uh-huh.
Say his name. Who can you thank for your World Series?
Oh, everybody. Oh, no. For winning it or not winning it in 2002?
For just being on the team and being a Miami Hurricane.
Well, man,
I'm really disappointed in you, Crypto, as many times as I told the story of the one and only, the great John Jay.
Oh.
He has no clue.
John Jay.
He has no clue. None.
Listen. We had the best pitching staff in the history of baseball that year.
Oh my God, I'm losing listeners as you speak.
John Jay's been on 3 teams. John Jay's been on 3 teams, and 2 of them won the World Series. One of them for the first time in 108 years.
Yeah, the Red Sox.
Canes.
But yeah, listen, I'm ready. I'm ready for the Dolphins' next Super Bowl. God may let me live to be 105, so I'm ready for it.
Next year.
So I'm looking forward to
next year. I like it.
Being willed out in 2080. We finally celebrating the Super Bowl.
You don't gotta wait that long.
To that, Steven.
You don't gotta wait that long. Next season.
Well, what do you mean, Batman? Did you just hear Steven? Did you just hear Greer in the press conference? He literally just told you we're not winning a title for the next 57 years.
He made me want to go through a concrete wall. Like I'm hyped.
I thought you were talking about to off yourself.
Exactly. That's what he meant, Color. That's what he meant.
He made me want to run into a brick wall too. What a coincidence!
We all go through concrete walls.
The Dolphins already started taking money out of my paycheck already as of this week.
Actually, it was more like he slapped me with a brick wall.
I agree with Triple S, man. This franchise is uncertain at the QB position. It's just, he he's halfway checked out. I'm 57 years in advance checked out. So hats off Triple S for being halfway checked out.
57 years.
I'm 57 years in advance checked out already. But listen, Keenan, you better than that. Talking about Devontae Parker being freaking reliable in freaking close situations. Shame on you. I wasn't gonna let you get away with that nonsense.
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, Crypto. You know what? Speaking of contested balls, I'll give you guys this. Guess what?
Guess what? Jalen Waddle never caught a contested ball.
Wait, Crypto. Everybody wanted to harp at me about Waddle and about how those three balls were defended passes and not drops, right? So what does that make them? Contested catches.
There he is. Cruz put it up.
Oh, yeah, that does make it a contested catch.
Who makes contested catches?
Yeah, exactly. He did.
Staying in Miami.
A contested catch. But
New England's
Devontae
receiver makes contested catches.
And Devontae Parker was and to your point yesterday, he was a wide receiver 4.
Batman, stop, Batman. Stop,
back
bro.
2023. We got the good news already.
Stop,
so even
bro.
wide receiver 4s make contested
Breaking
catches.
News.
No.
Stop it, Batman.
No, it's right there. Steven Cruz put it up. It just came out right now.
What is?
Cruz Ruiz's last comment. Breaking
Daryl
news right
Bevel
now.
staying in Miami?
Yeah. Breaking news. He's not taking
Oh, good.
OC
Speaking
jobs.
of Darren Bevel,
He's not taking OC jobs.
He's not
where?
taking the OC jobs in the Jets or the Commanders.
Batman, do you really
they
respect
call
Darren
him?
Bevel, right? I'm not just throwing
I like
shade.
him.
I'm really
I like him.
honestly asking, right? So do
like
I. I think the guy's a great quarterbacks coach, man. He's freaking on point, right? I just want to remind everybody, he is the one that said he is not willing to say that the Green Bay concussions had anything to do with Tua's gameplay. He said that out of his own mouth. So let's give him the deference if he's got other things he thinks he needs to do to make Tua right, and we are running it back. Can we at least admit there's things that needs to be fixed?
Of course.
Thank you.
Every quarterback in the NFL needs to
say.
Every
That's all
quarterback.
he wanted you to say, bro.
also-
Not just saying it for for the record. I mean, believe in it.
I also agree.
Snyder needs help. Everybody.
I
needs
also
help.
agree that the concussion in the
You might
Green
have
Bay
just got
games
me on board, Batman.
weren't the reason.
See
I
how
think
that
it was a
works?
communication thing.
Yeah, it was more like the quarterback was the reason. Yeah.
Even some of the players were like, "Yeah, I misheard the call or ran the wrong route." So yeah, you might be able to put one, but not all three of them. But I don't think it had anything to do with the concussions.
Excuse me.
Of course not.
And the
A
stats
blade of
bear it
grass
out.
doesn't.
Too.
That's
The
fair
stats
enough,
bear
but
it out. If you take the deep shot away from the first half, the stat line is almost identical. It is,
Trevor
Batman.
Lawrence.
You can shake your
saw
head
it
no all
pretty
you
much
want.
I've seen
identical.
it many times. It's not.
You can shake your head all you want. You take away the deep shot from the first half, and then it's almost
Your yards
identical.
your completion percentage and yardage is identical.
You said what were the attempts? Well, we'll get into that in another show.
He was 8 for 12. I'll tell you, I've got it memorized. He was 8 for 12, and I'm going to do the yards per catch too. Okay, he was 8 for 12. Okay, and I forget the yardage, but he was 8 for 12.
It was like 240, I think it was.
No, that it wasn't that much. But
in the first
that was
half?
in the first half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the first half.
8
That's
for
because
12.
he had an 84-yard touchdown.
Right,
on
right.
one play.
That's right, Crypto. It was 174 yards, I think is what it was. 8 for 12, 174 yards, and 19 yards per catch, right? That went to 7 for 13 for about 80-something yards, 90 yards, and a 12-yard per catch.
Also, if
you take away the deep shot, that brings the yardage to near equal, and it drops the yards per catch, does it not?
You're also discrediting Green Bay's defense as well.
I'm not discrediting anything. I'm saying it wasn't because of the concussion. If it was because of Green Bay's defense, that's great. But it's not because of the concussion.
No, I totally agree about that. But like the changes in the second half are just the changes on defense.
Fair enough.
Green Bay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Green Bay made adjustments.
I'm not trying to debate.
They made great
that.
adjustments.
Dude, Green Bay did make great adjustments. I can say that. I'm just saying it's not because of what the narrative is, which is concussions.
Right.
I think maybe a little, that some like one of the play calls went out bad because of the concussion, maybe. But like as far as like the play, Tua was still making good plays until the 3 final drives. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I believe the coaching staff in that regard. I don't think anybody even realized his head hit the turf that day.
I don't think he did either.
Are we being funny there?
Yeah, I'm being 1,000% serious.
And I am too, William, because check it out. There's one thing that the national media pointed out. I forget who it was. I want to say Florio or somebody. What about the 8 spotters for the NFL on the field? None of them saw his head hit the turf.
But they clearly saw when Teddy hit it in that Jets game. Boy, they didn't miss that.
They may have just not seen it. I get it, because none of us did till Monday morning when somebody, posted it on Twitter.
Michael posted it on Twitter, and I saw that Sunday night.
But as an NFL spotter, you got one job to do.
I mean, that it happened in the Buffalo game this weekend. Dawkins got hit in the head, and he went back the next play.
See, that's the problem here. The NFL spotters are just like people like the quarterback's trainers. Plural.
But see, here's another thing about this is that
what I mean is, and wait, real quick, the NFL spotters got this cush job where all they do is go stand there on a football field every Sunday and look for people's heads cracking, right? Well, that gets pretty boring. And also, they're sitting there in an NFL stadium at ground level watching a game, okay, in the most prime position. You don't think they throw that cloud around and that's all it's about for them? I'm sure there's a good percentage of these NFL spotters that have no care in the world to be actually sitting there watching for head cracking. It's access. I'm an NFL spotter. I'm on the field. Talk to me.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to do final thoughts. We've been doing it for 45 minutes now.
That's what I was saying.
Crypto, final thought. Final thought.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be an interesting off season. And yeah, man. Hats off. Hashtag 2080, buddy. I'll see you guys in 57 years.
See you in the Super Bowl party next year, Crypto, for the Dolphins.
All right, buddy.
All right, Crypto, be good, buddy.
All right.
Go eat a hot dog.
You owe me.
I don't.
You know the interest gonna be at that time, Steven?
I'm never
you
paying.
owe me about 3,000 hot dogs by
Never
then.
gonna happen. Tua has to pass concussion protocol by 3 doctors. They just implemented that change. Caslin said. Thank you for the $5 donation. Guys,
Steven,
we're $35 away from goal, too. Just so you know, we're $35 away.
Pay up, Steven. I don't even want hot
Never
dogs
gonna
no
happen.
more.
Never gonna happen.
I want to.
See, I just got you.
That's how you handle crypto. You're just like, all right, bro, I'll talk to you later.
I will talk to you later, Crypto. You go eat some hot dogs. Okay, be gone. All right. Where am I going next?
I'll go. Let me go.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to my duties. I've been trying to get out of this damn apartment for 3 days.
Batman, then color.
I just wanted to say, because I got Lewis in color. I wanted to say with Crypto here, but Crypto left. He jumped the gun. But I just wanted to say, look, I understand the frustration with the fan base that sticking with Tua is something that they don't want. I could understand that they want, just how we have Tua fans out here that, voted 300,000 fans that vote, or 300 votes that got Tua in. They want people to do the same opposite to get Tua out. And fortunately, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be at Ross's window throwing rocks at his window to get his attention, to see if he comes out and he says, "Oh, I agree with y'all. Let me get rid of Tua." It ain't going to happen. We got to support this team. It's not eating what they give us. It's a matter of supporting this team. It's been mentioned. We talked about it yesterday. We can make between 50 and 72 million in cap. You could bring in a solid 2 to 3 more pieces, and that's adding Wilkins to that. Obviously, the Dolphins are going to bring in some more pieces to add to this team. I think we're going to compete. We're going to stay healthier. And again, I am down to fire Boyer, but only if it's a legitimate upgrade as far as somebody that's been in the position for a long time doing it. I'm not just getting rid of Boyer just to get rid of Boyer. That's just stupid. Like to think that I think that's a horrible idea, but just got to be patient. I know that we've been impatient for the last couple of years, but we just got to continue to support this team doing the right decisions. I mean, things are not going to change just because we want it to happen. So we just got to keep supporting this team. I want to say, everybody, catch me tonight here on Miami Sports Music.
Yes, sir. It's Wednesday.
I'll be live at 8:30. Finzaholics. I'm Finzaholics. I'm one subscriber away from 600. If somebody can make it happen, that'd be pretty cool.
Go to my man's channel and get there.
Appreciate it. And we got a giveaway today, so if we can get it done, I'll be happy to do it for the 600 subscriber mark. But yeah, much love to everybody. Fins up. If nobody has nothing to do right now during the day, the homie Lewis is gonna be and myself and a couple other guys that you've seen are gonna be cooking up some Dolphins talk throughout the rest of the afternoon. So if you guys want to come up, it'll be pretty cool.
Much love to everybody. Dolphins talk.
Yep. So Steven, appreciate it.
I love you, buddy.
What you do for everybody. Fins up, guys. Love y'all.
Love you too, man. Be good.
Later, Batman.
All right. Batman Zone out of here. Color, final thought of the day.
There's also nothing we can do if they decide to not make everything stay the same. But I won't. I mean, I appreciate Batman's words because I think Batman just gets, especially me, a lot of real confused. Look, if the organization would set the right expectation, I would be fine with whatever the hell we did. Honestly, I mean, but it's like just getting jerked around all this time. I'm at the point where, okay, you're gonna tell me this, and that. I'm gonna hold you accountable for it from now on. And the fact of it is, we've been promised these things for 30 years now. And every single year we're having this same discussion again. And it's tiring, man. It makes people like, I think their mission is to make the older fan go to sleep so that they can dangle a bunch of eye candy in front of the younger fan and make all kinds of money. That's what it's about, bro.
Tyreek Hill. I've heard that before. I have actually heard that theory before, not from you. I've heard that theory.
Real quick, I just wanted to point out also that something just came to my attention. I don't want to steal nobody's take, but isn't it kind of known even by everybody on all sides of the Tua fence that a certain quarterback on our roster was almost handpicked by a certain quarterback's coach on our roster? And now we have retained that quarterback's coach.
Interesting.
Who is probably likely to be promoted to something like assistant coordinator, offensive coordinator. Yeah. Because we know McDaniel's calling the plays anyway, so it don't really matter who's OC. It's just a title and a personnel management issue, for the OC, given that Mike McDaniel is insistent on calling plays. So yeah, I mean, I just want to remind everybody that the coach we just retained is likely the guy that handpicked Skylar Thompson.
It's a very interesting. I have to think about that more, but it's not a far-fetched thing to think about.
Just might be an indicator of what people's thoughts are in the building. I'm not.
What is Barry Cunningham talking about?
What's that?
What is Barry Cunningham talking about that Tom Brady just retired?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't caught that.
I don't know. I just saw it.
Is there a went in our future?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll finish my final thought by saying this. Man, if we're running it back and we need some more pieces, like Batman said, and we can get this or that and do this or that to get about 70 million or whatever, and what we could do with that. Just imagine how strong our offensive line could be if we traded Waddle. I'm out.
Oh, there you go. Drop the mic. Now, who do I like more? Lewis or William Perry? That's the real question of the day. Who gets the final thought of the day?
No, give it to William. I vote William. I'm going to give my spot to William. I won't make you choose, Stephen.
Lewis, you are a scholar and a prince, sir. I didn't say saint because I don't know what religion you are.
Don't give that man that much credit. Please don't. Don't do that.
Hey, I told you, Stephen, last Monday.
You ain't tell me nothing. You ain't tell me a thing.
That's why the homie Caslin brought me back from the dead like 97 times. Because everybody.
Hey, we're $35 away from goal, y'all. $35. Go ahead.
Hey, but this is what I was telling people on Monday. And this is the real. Like, again, people are just tired. I think there's a difference when people say, well, we got to support this team. Everybody on Sunday will be supporting this team. But Monday through Saturday, I don't have to like what they're feeding me. That's the difference. When Batman says, oh, nothing can change. Yes, it can. Bro, in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have these platforms like YouTube, like Twitter, just social media in general. No one could change nothing then. But we do have the power of change. And again, supporting this team, I will always rock and bleed the colors of the Miami Dolphins. I will always rock with them. But at the same time, it is frustrating having to deal with ownership and where they just constant lies to us, bad decisions, and again, run it back. Bro, I can go back 4 weeks ago and put any one of Wild 'N Out Wednesdays on Miami Sports Music, and it was pure hell because everybody was at each other's neck because this team was absolute trash. But now it's Run It Back 2023. You see what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro.
The hypocrisy of this fan base is absolutely
it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. But with that being said, I love all you sick bastards. I wouldn't trade none of y'all for nothing in the world.
You would trade me. Stop it. You don't love me.
You finally got a William Perry in your life, though. Guess what you get? You got a William Perry in your life now.
There you go. See, this is what I'm saying. Bro, I wouldn't trade the William Perry, the Stephen D's, my guys at the Fence Tugger. Now, I would trade CB83's ass. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would trade him. I would trade CB in a heartbeat, but everybody else, man.
I wouldn't. I love my guy CB.
Well, that's fine. Listen, everybody needs to be loved.
Everybody needs somebody to love. All right, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I want to get my $35.
Don't ever do that.
Lewis, love you, brother.
Love y'all boys, man. Y'all be easy.
Be good.
Lewis, be good.
All right, real quick before I let that go, Mike Gesicki about 20 minutes ago tweeted his goodbye to the Dolphins on Twitter. So I'm going to read it for you. This is from Mike Gesicki's Twitter about 20 minutes ago. I remember moving down to South Florida at the age of 22, ready to live out my lifelong dream of playing in the NFL when the Miami Dolphins fulfilled that dream. I knew I was prepared for the next step, but what I didn't know was how much South Florida was going to mean to me and how at home I felt by the true Miami Dolphin fans these past 5 years. I will never forget the feeling of adrenaline going through my body after my first career catch versus Tennessee in my first game. And I still get chills thinking about the intensity, the passion, and the love I felt from the support of our fans the last time I was announced in the lineup before our final home game this season versus the Jets. I met teammates and staff members that built relationships that will last a lifetime. I also went from confused as all hell why the Dolphins drafted another tight end the day after drafting me to growing up with Durham Smythe and sharing unbelievable memories on that field, and was able to add a groomsman to my wedding and a brother for life. I gave every ounce I had to be the best teammate, player, and person I could possibly become. I'll forever remember the adversity of not playing a major role my rookie year to the following year catching the game winner in Foxborough back in 19. I will forever cherish playing with Ryan Fitzpatrick because he changed my career and my life forever by simply believing in me, giving me opportunities on Sundays, and giving me the best advice I have received regarding the game of football. Stop thinking so much, and just effing run. I hope you all enjoyed my obnoxious ball spins after the first down, my ridiculous celebrations after a big play, and of course, the most hilarious gritty the league has ever seen, self-proclaimed. I'm not sure what the next step has in store for me, and I'm not positive where it will be. But if my time in Miami has come to an end, I will forever cherish every moment and be grateful for the highs and lows, no matter what and no matter where the show goes on. Fins the F up. Mike Gesicki, number 88. P.S. Just keep going.
Thank you for your service, Mike Gesicki. Hit the button.
Let me say something about Mike Gesicki. So Mike Gesicki, I think his time in Miami's done. I love the guy. I think he will be successful wherever else he goes. I do think he will be very successful in his future. I love the guy, and I'm glad he was a Miami Dolphin, and I'm glad that he will we'll have those memories. He's one of those guys for me that's, Randy McMichael and Charles Clay. And I know I'm throwing tight ends up here, but Tagovailoa, like Gesicki's one of those Dolphins that you'll just remember. Remember Gesicki? Man, that dude was a beast back in the day. He had like a 2-3 year run where that dude was he was the man. And we'll say, oh, we never utilized him the way that he needed to be utilized to be great. And we talk about things the Dolphins have done over the last 20 years. Gesicki is an exact quote or you want an example of what the Miami Dolphins are. Unfortunately, good, bad, or indifferent. Gesicki explains all of that, because we can go back over the last 20 years and we can say, man, look at you remember, we did it today on the show. We talked about Lusaka Polite and Rob Conrad. We talked about Charles Clay. We talked about, amazing former Miami Dolphins that had like 2 or 3 great years. And we're like, oh my, Gesicki's just another one to add to the list. That we did not do everything in our power to make him the best thing that he can be. He had great moments. He had some really great times here, and I love the guy. And I know that the way McDaniel runs his offense, he was not ever going to be as successful here. Good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm going to miss the hell out of him. And he was a great Miami Dolphin. That's real talk. Real talk. And he will be successful wherever he goes. Put money on that. The man will be successful. Mike Gesicki will be a Pro Bowler next year wherever he goes. Hot take.
Mike Gesicki's like Jimmy Graham, but the same style. You know what I mean? And I mean,
he will utilize them the right way.
Yeah, I don't think he's not here, not this year.
Gesicki's tenure is an exact example of what of being a Dolphins fan is, being a Miami Dolphins player is, and how it works out beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
It is it is a storybook of what the Miami Dolphins are. Gesicki's career here is.
I wonder if he goes to Chicago.
And honestly, it's heartbreaking at the end of the day, because that's what the Miami Dolphins are. We sit here and we talk about X, Y, and Z and how we're not doing this or how we should do that or what we need to do. Go look at Gesicki. Go look at his career. Go look at his love for the fan base and the fan base's love for him, and how it's. I'm just telling you,
He got used so much last year. Yeah, I'll miss him too. He was him going up and grabbing those balls out of the air. He was as good as anybody. Uncontested catches.
But I will also stay for the state. His time is up here. Good, bad, or indifferent. His time is up.
Yeah. A new regime, new scheme doesn't fit the scheme. You know what I mean? He's not a big. For as tall as he is, he's not a big guy to play a blocking role either. You know what I mean? Good guy though.
Number one. All right. Your final thought, William Perry. Go ahead. Final thought.
I like where we're headed. We got to the playoffs with the first year, head coach and first year play caller. Hopefully McDaniel can clean up the speed of the play calls during the offseason. That was the biggest problem throughout the whole entire season was the speed of the calls, getting them out fast enough. Especially we saw it full face in this playoff game, which we could have won. We had it to win. It was ours to lose too. As far as Tua being our quarterback, I love Tua. You can call me a Tuaneer or whatever you want to call me. I love him, and I love him because he does show how good he is and how good he can be. The health part, yeah, I get it. We're lucky that that this was like more of a concussion thing than an actual injury. What's going to be the next? We don't know. Maybe there's never another one. You never know. You just don't know. Hopefully, we'll clean up the offensive line stuff in the offseason. We'll get some more pieces, and McDaniel can put his playbook into effect even better. But as far as the way the team looks going forward, I think we only have things are looking up. You know what I mean? And the Bosa brothers are serial killers. By the
oh my God,
good, bad, or indifferent.
He's gonna get me in so much trouble. All right, man, I gotta go. Get out of here. I love you, man.
Deuces, love you.
Hey, man, $35 gets us to the goal today, everybody. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Would love to reach that goal today. If you're going back and rewatching this, and look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 7 of y'all. 7. I had to do that new math. I had to count with my fingers. 7 of y'all donate $5 right now. It gets us to the goal. For no other reason than you just enjoy this content and you love it. 7 people donate $5 right now. Go, 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 go. Hope you enjoyed the show today. I did. Absolutely amazing show. It was a lot of fun. And tomorrow is Thursday. Tamaris will be on. We'll be picking playoff games for the weekend. Cameron will be with me. We'll talk all Dolphin stuff tomorrow. Throwback Thursday tomorrow. Be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. This was Wildin' Out Wednesday. Hope you all enjoyed the show. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Peace.
To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fit. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say Tua from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Island. It's time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson. Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no, all day I dream about sports. I think I need some shadows. Custom with some Dolphins colors. Just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Biz for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. To a time.